Well, there goes the Daverhood. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Wasn't sure if I'd get through that without hocking up a bit of phlegm.
Do it K-pop style. Do it again, K-pop. Now sing K-pop.
I don't know if I can sing K-pop. I don't know.
The girls.
I know. We were watching this.
You gotta undulate your voice.
That's African. Do it louder.
Like, you know how they do it? Like that.
They didn't really say. In fact, they weren't being auto-tuned or anything like that. We were watching this miniseries, whatever they call it, reality thing, about these girls who are like 15, 16 years old, drafted from America to be a Korean pop girl band. What would you call it? Cat's Eye. And reasonably interesting show. Just problem is they lie. Isn't it marvelous? They're lying to 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old teenagers, children, and tell them, okay, so we're going to go through this incredible period of training and camp for singing and dancing and presence and working in a recording studio. And then when you come out of it, we'll pick the best people to be in a band. But the thing is, as opposed to all that work and pressure being on them, halfway through the program, because this is reality TV, they tell the kids, oh, by the way, it's really going to be a competition. It's like people are going to vote. People are going to vote you, quote unquote, off the island, off the camp, as opposed to you're not cutting it, which is fair. As opposed to try again in a year when you have more chops, when you have more training or discipline, or try and work on your voice or something. This is more like, let's see how popular you are with votes. We'll see this, and then there's a voting of this, and it's like, that ticked me off royally. But it was nice to see that at least they were grabbing people who could sing, without the help of computer auto-tuning and all of that manipulation and machinery. I mean, they had to have the chops to begin with, and some really terrific dancers. And of course, the thing is, when you have that many people signing up, you don't have what you had in the chorus line of like dance 10, looks 3, where it didn't matter that you were a fantastic dancer if you weren't pretty, if you weren't this. You had that one quality that you could bring to a Broadway show, to a chorus line, and therefore they would get you for that. And then, if you were a lousy dancer but an incredible singer, they'd bring you up front for a solo, and then you'd be in the back with the dancers. Here now, so many, and this is actually a good thing, so many people have talents on all 3 levels that if you are a dance 5, sing 8, looks 7, you're going to be beaten by someone who's got like 9 in all 3 categories. So that's why you watch this show, because, looks 10, talent 11. What else? What else do I have? The ability to hawk up phlegm in the morning. I'm working on it. I wish I could get it up quicker and get it done. It's still in there. So
you have
7.
The quickest time running from a bee.
I do have. I have been clocked by the Guinness Book of World Records fastest time trying to escape from a bee.
Or a shot. Or
shock.
Needle, yeah.
Oh, or from, a needle I don't run. I'm probably going to get hurt if I try running from a needle that a doctor's trying to put in my arm. But
do you want to try playing a song for the people?
Oh, all right. So there it was. There, my goober. I just swallowed a little bit of phlegm. I don't know if it was yellow or green. It didn't live long enough for me to name it or really make friends. So anyway, but I should tell you that you're watching Dave's Gone By with me, Dave Lefkowitz, and my darling and adorable wife, and all of you watching from home or wherever you're watching from. This is our 958th episode of the program, which mixes humor and culture and nonsense and more nonsense and even more nonsense. And we've been doing it every week and for the past bunch of years, Saturday mornings, all the way since October of 2022. Sorry, 2002.
Yes, not 22, 2.
So we're always trying to find, and particularly my wife is very strong on this, of bringing cool new things to share and talk about in the Daverhood. Because after you do 957 shows, you can be kind of strapped for things that you haven't discussed repeatedly. You can be kind of like, I got 3 hours here. What am I gonna? I mean, we have a guest. We do have a guest.
Oh, who's the guest?
And a couple of segments. Well, the guest on today's show.
Play it like if you're a bad lounge singer.
Well, I gotta turn this on first. All right, let me then show what this is. This is our latest toy. Bum 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 bum. It is an electric keyboard, and at least it is going to be somewhat. Oh, we can do duets though, because it can somewhat replace the keyboard that's in there that we used to use. But this one has octaves. I mean, it has 2 octaves. But you can do what do they say? Not arpeggiation.
Chords.
You can make a chord. In other words, it'll have 3 simultaneous voices. So you can do an A chord, a C chord, a G chord, and you'll hear the harmonization. You'll hear all 3 notes. You can't do like a blue note or 7th, but hey, that's pretty friggin' awesome. So I'm gonna open this up. I always dread opening up new boxes of things.
Where are the other keyboards?
It's on the shelf on the right under some stuff.
Oh, that one's kind of.
You see it? Yeah.
I do.
It's under like the thingies there. So I'm going to open up this Schilling electric keyboard. See, it still works. But you can't do more than, I think, 1 voice on there. This has multiple voices. In fact, it can do George Burns. It can do Nixon.
Wow.
It can do Ed Sullivan. All right, so we take this out of its little...
Save it because the box has the chords on it.
Oh.
Other side.
Oh,
Other,
yeah.
other side.
What other side?
That one. Top.
Oh, this thing. Oh, I see. If you're looking how to play. If you want to play along at home, you can cut out these learning templates. So I guess you can practice your piano wherever you happen to be. If you bring along this piece of cardboard, that's already better than I can play. So here's our brand new electric keyboard from Schilling. I feel like an influencer when I'm saying, now let's review it. I'm like, no, I just have it for nonsense. Here we go. Let's try that one again.
You gotta play.
So, but I gotta put it on one of these for me to play. I think this will be on now. Yeah, cool. And now we do. What key is that? Nice. But listen, you'll hear a full chord here. Here's a C chord. A C minor.
No, I'll play.
Oh, wait.
I'll play.
There we go. See, that keyboard will only voice 1 note at a time. This one does 3. It's like Star Trek music. Isn't it? It can't play, so it'll jump immediately to the other note. And this does have, maybe voices is not the right word. It has 3 tones at a time because the voices. This turns to organ.
Matt Truck.
Wait. No, that was better. Out of the way, asshole!
No, it sounds like a church.
Oh, well, it should. This is organ.
Mm-hmm.
And you should see the size of my organ. Let's try one more voice on here. What? This is baseball organ. Listen to
Sounds
this.
like piano in front of baseball.
This doesn't sound like organ?
Say, take me out to the ball game.
Well, anyway, it's been a long time since I've tried to play anything. What is this? Oh, this must be the pre-programmed songs. This is how Philip Glass learned.
Really?
Oh, yeah, well, this little, and he's just turned all these arpeggios and say, I'm going to make a whole career on this.
Try another one.
All right, enough. Yeah. Arriba, arriba.
No, it's all things great and beautiful.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it is. It's Joy to the World, yeah. If Beethoven had heard the drum pattern underneath, he would have added it.
Of course he would have. I think he wrote this with that in mind, yeah.
So who wrote this? Oh!
Oh, you're gonna have Saddle Sore coming in for this one.
Yes! How many songs that I don't know why they bother with people. You hand a kid this, right? And what they really want to do is play. They want to hear noise. They want to try and make songs. They don't want to. Why do they throw these things in there? It's enough that the thing will play. So and it does. Now let's see if I can get 4 notes at the same time. Probably not. Here's 3.
Nice.
Let's try. No. It will do three at once.
That's a lot.
It's a lot, which is great. And it does go almost, it goes an octave and a half. Just about. Or, let's see,
Maybe that's all you need to learn, David.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just about. It's very, very cool. So, yeah. So this will be sort of our musical sting thing.
I'll hear and try this one.
This is what people were doing with MIDI 25 years ago,
yeah.
right? I hope this is fun for you at home. I'll be opening at the West Bank Cafe next month, assuming it doesn't. This would be a reason to close down the West Bank Cafe. All right, stop with the drummy drum.
David, you'll be playing on West 4th and 5th, right? West 4th and Madison or something.
I'll be walking in heels on 9th Avenue and 45th, trying to make a little money. But anywho, we're calling this episode of the Dave's Gone By Show, Of KORZ.
Yeah.
Why? Because, of course, we have a guest, and a fabulous guest. The person that we're talking to will be, or is, she already is who she is. She's not going to be this person. She is Annie Korzen. Now, Annie Korzen, you would say she's like a veteran actress who, small roles in things like Law and Order and various sitcoms.
The name sounds so familiar.
Well, it's KORZEN. And then she got the role, right? The one role that vaults you from being like 50,000 other people who are, under fives, get one scene in a show, and go from show to show to show, and never really, you might know sort of the face and be like, I think I've seen that person in something, to being not quite a star, but certainly someone who is like, oh, you! Someone who gets recognized, someone who is like, oh! And that's
her name Annie or Kate?
Annie Korzen, KORZEN, because she did at least 4 episodes of a little show that you might have watched in the 1990s or later on called Seinfeld.
Ah.
Yeah, she was on Seinfeld as the wife of Jack. So she was Doris, if you know, from the show. So
Which one is Jack?
they were the parents of they were Jerry's parents, I believe, as opposed to George's parents, who were, of course, Jerry Stiller
and Mira.
No, it wasn't Mira. I forget who they got. They got someone really. They needed someone Jewish for George's parents, but they. So Annie Korzen played Doris in Seinfeld, and because Seinfeld has been so culturally important, and some people find it like the greatest sitcom ever. Even the fact that she was only in a couple of episodes has cemented her into.
Are you live?
Yes. I know. Refresh, reload.
Oh yeah, that's probably what I should do.
Yeah. What? That's her. She's in a wig there. That's her sort of in character doing the Doris's mom thing. I should show this picture, and I can tell you exactly who Annie Korzen is.
Yeah.
So she has this lucky break, and it's more than luck. She was terrific in the role. That makes her like, oh, her. But unlike some other people, she was able to corral that and parlay that into social media notoriety. and stardom, and having hundreds of thousands of views on these little videos that she does on TikTok, and I guess Instagram and Facebook as well. So, instead of just being, well, she'll always be the Seinfeld, she's used her persona as being a cute, sort of acerbic little lady, little Jewish lady, to being like, oh, cute little Jewish lady on TikTok. We want, you scroll, you see her. So Annie Korzen, the viral Annie Korzen, if you will, is going to be joining us on Dave's Gone By later on the show to talk to Rabbi Sol Solomon, the founder and spiritual leader of Temple Sons of Bitches in Great Neck, New York. Rabbi Sol has been with us since our very first program in 2002. He sometimes does mini sermons for us, for rabbinical reflections. And if you go to his website, shalomdammit.com, you can watch his stage show as it was filmed live at the Richmond Shepherd Theater many years ago. Plus, read all his stuff and check out all the many interviews he's done for this program. So he will be talking to Annie Korzen later on this episode of Dave's Gone By. Also on this show, we will have Bunion Watch. This is a profoundly important.
And this is what Trevor thinks of Bunion Watch.
Oh, can I show? Can I show?
It's your phone.
Oh, there he is. There he is. This is my old pal, Trevor, from the radio station where Dave's Gone By first started, WGBB out in Long Island. Trevor is a gospel broadcaster, and he's going on the air. Very hot. But yeah, and he's live streaming at the same time, which means that he's not watching my show, which keeps us from being best friends.
He could watch it later.
He could. So, but a big shout out to Trevor, of course. And what else was it? Oh, Bunion Watch. So I share the condition, the size, the shape, the color of my bunions on my feet, just because. It was literally a year ago.
You mostly focused on one bunion, let's be real.
But it's the wrong bunion. That's the thing. A year ago, I started teaching again this semester, and I came home on the first day and my foot was killing me. And it wasn't because of the bunion. It was my shoe was rubbing on top of a toe near the bunion. But then I was like, since I talk about everything on the show, I was like, let me share this. Let me show the healing process of this wound.
Showing of you with the past show with the sad.
Oh.
Sad
So I'm like, let me do bunion. It was either Bunion Alert at that point or Bunion Watch.
No, it always was Bunion Watch. I don't think it was an alert.
It was never alert. It was just Bunion Watch.
It was an alert.
I think I called it Bunion Time, which is more gentle.
Bunion Time.
It's Bunion Time.
You have to say it's Bunion.
Would you like to share your bunions today?
No.
We can match up bunions.
No, I'm happy that I didn't break my foot.
Yeah. So anyway, I'll show you my bunions.
But this is not related to your guest.
No, it's not. Yesterday, and when we got kind of lucky in this, my darling and adorable wife is washing the dishes, and she's using soap, which, I use soap when I need to, but I kind of avoid
soap. I think you gave my soap the evil eye. You gave it the soap whammy.
But and she's holding this big bottle of, not Palmolive.
No, I did it like a diet. I took a antibacterial soap from the big, because I'm trying to save money, from this huge glug container to the one you put on the sink.
Right. So she's pouring into the thing. It's fine. It's going fine. And thank goodness you didn't drop the big one.
No, that would have been bad.
And even the small one that you dropped was closed, so it didn't create a slippery mess everywhere.
Oh, that would have been horrible. I would have slipped and killed myself.
Well, what happened was kind of horrible. So you filled up this I don't know what liter weight is of soap. This fairly big container, and dropped it right on your bare foot.
Yes.
Not on your bunion, but it was more on the.
In the middle.
What is the rampy part called? The metatarsal or something, or the megatarsal, the microtarsal. So it was just like she's like and bam, right on top of her foot. So we're worried. Oh my God, she breaks some cartilage. She do this. There's no broken bones. I'll tell you that.
It hurt though.
It hurt. And she immediately smartly iced it over. And it's you can barely even notice the bruise.
Oh, yeah, that's because I put ice on it.
The bruises she gets when I hit her are so much darker and more wine stained than the stuff that she will get on the top of her foot from this. But thank God it was not, one. It had fallen a different way. It might have broken the toe. It fallen an even different way. Oh, it could have been really, really horrible. It could have fallen on me. So thank God, thank God. So, but do you want to share we can show your foot later on Bunion Watch.
No, you can't.
Oh, really? Because her bunions are not as big as mine, but she does have some cute little bunions on her. I will show you my bunions, as I do most every week on this program. Also on the show, Dave's Big Dick. Shaneri. This is a segment that we've been doing, God, for a few years now, where I'll explain that, as I've told many times, when we first started this program 21 and a half, almost 22 years ago, I tried to script everything. It was only an hour long. And everything I wrote down, all the segments, even the interstitial material, I barely left any room for me to just speak as myself, because I'm more confident as a writer than I am as an extemporaneous performer or speaker or personality, if you will. And that carried on for a while, and then I allowed myself little bits more and more and more to just kind of open up and be myself, and still hope and be confident that I could be entertaining and funny without having my jokes written out Seinfeld-like. But pursuant to that, I was like, later on, you know what? Let me really test myself. We'll find a word. We'll do a random word every week.
I don't have it though.
Oh, it's not, you can't get on the phone?
No, I have to. It has to. Are you on?
Yeah, let's do it the old-fashioned.
Are you on LinkedIn? I mean, are you on Twitter on this?
I can look it up right on this computer. I can do it.
Do you have Twitter?
Merriam-Webster?
Do you have Twitter?
Yeah, I do have Twitter. I don't know. I'm not following. Do I have to follow?
Just go to Twitter and type in Merriam-Webster.
All right, we'll do it this way. Here we go.
No, because I didn't do it.
Here's. You can't watch me. I'm not going to share my screen, folks.
No,
but
because it's a secret.
So, on Dave's Gone By, we choose a random word, and whatever that word is, I have to, off the top of my head, a few minutes later into the show, talk about for like 5 minutes. Extempore. I have no idea what's coming. It's just whatever memories, any even tangential thing that the word makes me think of, I just go off on. So let me try. I'm on Twitter now. I got to explore. Let me see what I'm looking for. Merriam-Webster. Yeah. Of course, I get a goddamn DraftKings commercial. Let me see this. Merriam-Webster. I'll even follow it. Let's see what they've just posted today. So their word, because pretty good. Not an easy one, but a pretty good word, ladies and gentlemen. Merriam-Webster's word of the day for August 31st, that's today, 2024, is Byzantine. I'm going to write this down because I'm going to talk about it later. Byzantine. What does Byzantine mean? Very complicated.
If you click on a link, it'll give you the full meaning.
Yeah, well, I'll do that later when we actually do the segment.
Byzantine?
Byzantine. B-Y-Z-A-N-T-I-N-E.
Is there a noun?
It is adjective.
Really?
Yeah.
Byzantine glass? Byzantine?
Why do I keep thinking Byzantine Empire? But it's very complicated, secret, hard to understand, possibly abstruse or, labyrinthine in its thinking. It's all sort of convoluted and stuff. So, at some point later in the show, I'm going to try and talk about whatever the word Byzantine brings into my head. Look at it. It's got 400 loves, this word.
Wow.
It just jumped to 420. Everybody watching this show is going to Webster's.
That's crazy. Like who? I mean, maybe that's how the dictionary is getting it.
Well, these are the other words of the week. This is kind of cool. Previously to today, their words included Oasis, which is incredibly important because the band is
getting back together, right?
Yeah. Typhoon, supersede. Oh, guess which word came up? Demure.
I'm demure, so demure.
Something about demure has become a meme.
So mindful.
Yeah, and zucchini.
Oh, because it's in season.
So, are they being so random with these?
I don't know. I think they must have some marketing people pick it, so I don't know.
Yeah. But anyway, Byzantine, and they're using a capital B because it was an empire. It was an empire at some point. We'll read about it later. But
Yeah.
I've got to work
I
on the
always
word
think of it as the
Byzantine.
Byzantine Empire.
Yeah. So.
Or like on Antiques Roadshow, Byzantine glass, Byzantine.
Or if you're a business person and you get an open wound and you have mercurochrome, you can use Byzantine. It heals it right
I
up.
think that's Bactine.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's if your company's backwards. Anyway, what else are we doing on this episode of the show? We've got Annie Korzen. We've got Bunion Watch. We've got Davis Big Dick. Greeley Times, which we're going to do shortly.
We have more stuff? Good.
Oh, God bless the Greeley Tribune, even though they never hired me when I bet for work. But bless them for doing the weekly column called Cop Log.
Who does it? You said a new person.
It's been for a little bit of time now. Someone named. No, that's not the name. I'm saying Chris Bolin. So thank you so much. What Chris Bolin does, and I believe that's a girl.
Could we all call them Bolin, like Anne Boleyn?
We could. Chris Bolin.
Okay, thank you.
Goes through what is public record, the police blotter, I guess you could call
really
it.
Public record?
Well, you can't just go to the police station
That's
and
what I'm saying. We can't
the newspaper could. As long as the identifiers are stripped.
So why couldn't we do it and they do it?
We probably could if we got a
Trespass?
or what do they call that? Not FOIA or something. I don't know what the whole
You gotta investigate
rules are on that, but I'm guessing that just for the sake of
it's public record.
right to know. How else? Yeah, journalists are following like, I wonder if they're going to arrest that famous person. Somebody got arrested, and there they go.
It's usually leaked they usually pay somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
isn't it leaked?
I don't. There's certain information that can be leaked, but I guess.
Yeah, but what time is your guest coming?
11:45.
Okay.
Well,
is she in California?
Yeah, that's as late as we could possibly bring her. Like last time we've been having a lot of people on the West Coast, and so instead of starting our interviews at 10 a.m. Eastern, we tend to start them closer to 11.
He was up at 6:30. The guy.
Yeah, he was great. That was Brandon Maggart last week. If you missed that, Brandon Maggart. Speaking of veteran actors, Tony nominated for Applause, I believe, and just did a ton of TV. Was on the first episode of Sesame Street. If you missed that interview with Rabbi Saul Solomon, then you just go on to last week's show. You can scroll down on Facebook and watch it after our show's over, or go to davesgoneby.com. All our archives are there. But he was great. He talked to Rabbi Saul for like an hour and a half, and he still had more stories to tell. Yeah. Well, because the guy's 91, or about to be 91. So if you live 91 years and you're in showbiz, you got stories. But he was really cool. And then we had someone else from Cali, and now of course we have Annie Korzen coming from. In fact, she was recommended to the Daverhood by our guest 2 weeks ago, a guy named Mark Miller, who wrote for television, wrote a lot of comedy, and wrote for the Jeffersons and things like that. So yeah, friends of the Daverhood bring new friends to the Daverhood. I love it. It's like when you give a high school kid drugs, and they start selling it and sharing it with other high school kids to give them drugs, and soon the whole high school is full of drugs. I want Dave's Gone By to be a high school full of drugs. Wow. There's just one person finds out about it, says, we got to bring this person on. They're great. And then they, of course, get all their fans to watch and tell more people about the show, and we become just one giant cesspool of drugs. That's Dave's Gone By. Drugs for your mind. Totally clean drugs for your brain. This is your brain on Dave's Gone By. So that's what we got. Greeley Times, and we also have, of course, our Colorado Limerick of the Damned. So our Colorado Limerick of the Damned is a poem that I write, and I've probably been doing this for a solid 10 years now. Every week I try and write a new short poem, a limerick, 5 lines, about some different place in Colorado. It could be a big city, small town, a ghost town that hasn't even been operational in any real way for 70 years, but there might be a building still there or a field. I try and write a poem using that place's name as, in a way, the punchline. And when I started, I'll do a couple of these. It'll be fun. And then I did a couple more. And hoarder personality that I am in certain ways, I now have 300 plus of these poems. Yep. If you ever really, really, truly want to lose your mind, just go on davelefkowitz.org and read that's where I collect all my written work. And go to Poetry, Colorado Limerick of the Damned, and you will see all 300 of them. You can read them one after another, after another. After 3 or 4 of them, you'll get a chuckle. 5 or 6 of them, you should be laughing. But by 10 or 15, you're going to go like, this guy's sick. By 20, 25, you're going to feel sick. And when you get to the 50th disgusting, wretched, sick, tasteless poem, you're going to wonder at the whole condition of the world and why God hasn't brought the apocalypse horsemen over and just sent thunderbolts and said, I'm going to destroy the world now because somebody's doing this. This is just wrong.
Wow.
That's why they're Colorado Limericks of the Damned. So this week we go to Ashcroft.
Ooh, sounds fancy.
Colorado. Ashcroft, Colorado. We'll tell you a little bit about it because we're educational and geographical, but we will also read our Colorado Limerick poem of the Damned. And that's what we're planned for the program today, August 31st, 2024. The end, oh my God, the end of August. Weather-wise, I mean, we had 2 90-degree days this week, so we can say the end of summer. Doesn't quite yet feel like that, although we've had some cooler overnights, which betoken the coming of the fall season. Not to mention that, we've started teaching, the fall is here, essentially. Not to mention that they started putting Halloween merchandise in Walgreens and CVS and Rite Aid. Oh, I don't know, when was it? Back on July 7th? I mean, they were already stocking the Halloween things even before July 4th. They're just making more room for it now. In like Michael's and Kohl's and stuff. It's amazing they haven't. They're going to wait maybe till after Labor Day, which we'll find out this week, for Christmas. I don't think they're going to even wait till Halloween's over anymore. They used to, at least you used to have that break where Halloween, witches and skulls and evil and masks and costumes, and then, boom, 2 days later, Christmas everywhere, even though Christmas was still 2 months away. Now, I'm promising you, the second Labor Day is over, they're going to start doing the tinsel and the ornaments and the Hershey's Kisses that are red with the gold foil and things, which I will eat, even though I'm Jewish. I will have Christmas candy because it's chocolate and it's candy, and I'm Jewish. Anyway, I'm Dave Lefkowitz. Can you believe we're a half hour into this stupid show? And like we've talked about nothing. This is very Seinfeldian. We have talked about nothing for half an hour, and we're just getting started here in the Daverhood. So, what else? Not that we have that much stuff to talk about this week that happened before we get to our main segments. I do want to tell everybody.
You picked up your pants.
I picked up my pants. They had them ready.
Good.
From a laundromat.
Did they actually hem them this time?
I haven't. I should try them on. I go to this Cleaners. That's about 4 or 5 miles away. Yeah. And nice guy, really old-fashioned Asian people running this if this were 1970, I'd say the Chinese laundromat, but woke times. So it's an Asian-owned thing with this old Asian guy, and I guess his son or something like that, and the mom's sometimes working there. So I bring in my pants one time, and then they bring them back to me, and like 4 weeks later, because I just have them hanging in the closet, I was like, I think I'm going to wear these. And you have to understand, folks, I am 5'2", so nothing fits me off the rack. Nothing, the cheapest clothes, the most expensive things for my age, my height, whatever, my mediumness, nothing, even if it fits me around the waist properly, it's going to trail past my toes and it has to be hemmed. So I will buy a pair of pants for $15 and it'll cost $20 to hem them. This is my life, right? So, there are times I just want to bring my grandmother back from the dead because she used to sew all my clothes. Grandma Lucy, she was annoying, but you would bring her a shirt. If there was a hole in it, she'd fix it. You brought pants. She'd sew them up. She'd sew them up.
That's not fair. You usually your grandma lose like a sweatshop. That's not
Yeah, oh, absolutely. But it's not like I have 50 pairs of pants every couple of weeks.
You
I
do.
said, Grandma, can you make my pants? You know, and she didn't mind.
That's what you said to her. She was like, "Oh, you were special."
And I was 19.
You were 37.
Yeah.
You were 37.
But why would I pay a pair of pants if she could do it? If she had that skill, right? So sure, please hem my stuff. But
Why
now
don't you just grow taller?
I know, right? Believe me,
Get some growth
if I
hormone.
could, do you know what my life as an actor might have been if I'd
Get
been
some
5'9"?
Get some growth hormone.
Yeah.
Take it.
If I wanted to grow something, it wouldn't be up here. No, but thank you so much. So now I have to hem everything, and it costs like $10 a leg, or $9 a fucking leg to take a sewing machine. It goes done, $20, right? But I do it because what can I do? I can't step all over my clothing, and I tell them I'm a 25 inseam. This time I'm trying 25 and a half because I think I need a little lower. You see too much of my sock.
Oh yeah.
So I want to see less sock.
Because you dry the heck out of our clothing.
Well, yeah, dry. I get them dry in the
Put our
dryer.
clothes in the dryer. It's worse than Sahara.
I have washed a few things of my wife's that they were yay big, and it's like don't try. It's like, and then they became day big.
Yeah.
So, but with my pants, they're supposed to be wash and wear. They're supposed to be like you don't need to. It's like that's why I buy them. I don't buy linen.
Why don't you discuss this with the?
With whom?
My knee hurts.
Oh, careful. But the thing is, so I've got to bring these pants. And one time I brought them over. I put them on like a month later, and I brought them in there. I did nothing to them. So now I've got to go back and talk to people who don't necessarily speak English all that well, and say like, no, I brought these here. Here's my credit. Here's my receipt. I had you hem them. You did not hem. You didn't do anything. You just took my pants and then handed me my pants back. And I paid,
That's a good business. Like, here, you want us to neuter your dog? Here's your dog. Oh, sorry.
But they believed me, and they did the job. They did the job well. So now I bring all my
they
clothing.
could see because everybody who hems probably has a different way of stitching with the sewing machine, so they would know. They could look at it and tell it was the original hem, not a...
Or there was no hem. Or whatever.
Yeah, they could tell.
So, and I had it was funny. When we first moved here, I was using a different cleaners.
Did you like them? But they made you try on everything.
I liked them. They made me try on stuff, but then they had a pit bull. That's the only reason they're hard to get to, and they have a pit bull pet in the store. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try this other place that's on the way from where I'm going anyway. Let me get there and let me do a nice pair of pants there. So why did I bring this up? This pair of pants? Why? Oh, so I got more pants back, and I brought more pants in. So I do realize that, first world problem, I have too much clothing now. I have a big closet in my office where my clothes go. My shirts.
At home, not like your
home here. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
I have a big closet in my office. Yeah. I go in sweats and a tee, and then I like to pick out my...
Yeah, no, we have a fairly large house, so we each have an office. I'm in my wife's office as we speak, not at school, here, and then I have an office on the same floor of this house. And it's a lovely office, lovely office.
I'm going to make the plant while you're at the second plant.
Oh, well, why can't we do that on the show? That'd be so cool.
Do you want to put the dirt in? You have to use
I don't want to touch stuff.
With a spatula. Here, I'll do it with the spatula.
But let me just explain that.
I'll start it.
I've been...
Well, you have the dirt on the wall. I can't.
What?
You have the dirt pinned to the wall.
I'll take it off the wall. Hold on. Let me explain what I'm explaining, then I'll explain this, and then you can do the plan. So I was just going to riff on the idea that I'm realizing now that we got this steamer, which is this most marvelous thing.
Oh my God!
Tell the world about the steamer.
I don't want some things you can't iron. Like a shirt is easy to iron. Like your shirt, you could iron the collar. It's easy to do flat. Mm-hmm. But some things are hard to iron, like dresses and stuff. Without a full ironing board, it's a lot of work. So someone said to me, just get a steamer. And guess what?
It is it's a little baby steamy thing. Yeah, I mean, you've seen this. You fill it with water, maybe a quarter cup of water, not even. A fifth of a cup of water. And then, boom, it heats up in about half a minute.
Yeah, it does.
And then it's ready to go.
It's the coolest thing ever. And
the steam, it's not cool. You put your hand on it, you're going to hurt yourself. But,
it's a great, and whoever thought of it, I mean, I think that's what dry cleaners must do. Because what happens if you have a dress with beads or something that you can't,
Well, they probably have an industrial steamer where you can do like big puffs of whatever. And they also have presses. That we don't have is a press, which would make things look really, really nice. Like you have in hotel rooms, so take or these big industrial things where it just steams everything out, almost like an iron.
Okay.
But so we have the steamer, and I'm realizing that I won't have to
hold it in there.
steam so many of my clothes if they weren't all sort of bunched together, because I've got like 50 friggin' shirts now. Every time we go shopping to not where do we go? TJ Maxx and
this is the dirt.
Home Goods, places like that.
See, you got to put the dirt in there.
Right. All right.
Are you okay doing that? You have a little spatula.
All right. Let's do this. Yeah. Let's. There's the spatula's there.
Use this, the tweezers. You won't have to touch it. Wait, where to go? There.
So, my wife has gotten into these little miniature things, miniature stuff. So it's kind of cute, right? So you're putting in the thing like this, but it kind of wobbles around. So you need dirt. So it gives you a packet of dirt that you can make, like fake dirt for a fake plant in a fake pot.
I think it's like that magic sand.
Oh, magic sand.
See, you don't have to touch it. You could take the tweezers.
It looks like fudge.
It looks like cuckoo.
Look at it. Look at this. It's like
you got to put the plant in first, though.
Wait, one moment. So it's like somebody pooped in a bag.
You don't want it on your.
How much do you take of this?
You got to put the plant in, then cover it.
I'm putting the plant in.
Yeah, good.
They can't really see. This is too low for them to see. If I can do it like this.
I'll hold it up for you. Hold on. Okay.
So I'm going to just take scoopfuls of brown gunk
and pack it in there.
Oh, this is actually dirt. Might be. It's probably pseudo dirt.
It's dirt. Yeah, pack it in with the tweezers.
Is that enough?
No, you got to fill the whole thing. Is that enough?
Oh, yeah. So this whole bag?
Yes, you got to pack the dirt in there.
This is going to be all right. This is going to be a real mess because it's just coming apart.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to dip.
Wait, hold on. Wait, we need something.
I never liked to play in dirt as a kid. It was never my thing.
You're spitting all over. Jesus
Well,
Christ.
the dirt needs to be moist.
No, it's not going to work.
All right.
What's that?
It's not broken, but the line just fell.
And you're still spitting on me. Hold on, we're going to fix it.
This is the program, ladies and gentlemen. If you're wondering what we do on this stupid show, here it is.
Keep putting dirt.
I'm going to try, but I need a spatula now. This tweezer thing is not working.
Put it underneath it.
Yeah.
Take this.
All right.
I'm going to
because it's not a spatula. It's a diggy thing.
Do not let the lamp fall on me like the.
Don't let the lamp fall on me either.
It fell backward.
All right, here we go. Oh, this is a mess. How we?
Show them the final product.
Here. I gotta hold this up to even do it. All right, I'm gonna tamp the dirt down. That works.
How does this go on?
It looks like chocolate cake. You gotta push it. You gotta press it. It'll snap in. All right. Well. All right. This is sort of standing up. This will almost do. I'm gonna do a little bit more.
Voila.
Yeah. See, she did it. Thank you. I was there. Hello, ring light. All right. I wish this would stand up more in the middle. That's better. You can't really see it yet because in order to do this.
No, you just gotta tamp it down.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have a tampon?
No.
Not for a few years. Here we go. All right. Let's try this.
Show them the little scoop. It looks so cute.
Yes. It's like when I make coffee with those coffee ground things. All right. Here we go.
Press it down with the spatula. Keep putting
here's
more.
my finger. It's easier. Here we go. Ta-da! You can probably add more dirt if you want.
Give it to me.
Yes, it is
it's
a little
crooked. Why are you?
Yeah.
Could you give me the dirt?
I can certainly give you the dirt. Here we go. By the way, it's the Happy. What is the company?
It's a fig.
Happy Guy Company. Happy Guy. Happy Grow Company. Can't even read. All right.
You're a weirdo.
Yeah. All right.
I guess you're not meant to be a farmer.
No, I'm not. I'm not. If I was meant to be a farmer, I'd be out in the backyard on a Saturday morning, like planting roses and running from bees and running towards bees. If I was a real farmer. But anyway, this is a cute thing. There you go. Tamp that dirt down. It looks lovely. It looks gorgeous. Make it in the middle.
You just do your show. Don't worry about me.
Well, what was I talking about? Oh, I was talking about clothing, and I realized that I've got so much stuff in the closet that it's all bunched together. You see the serial killers in movies, and you open up their closets, and everything's like perfectly arranged, and there's significant space between every article of clothing so that nothing gets wrinkled. And like, what was that movie where if she hangs the towels wrong? Well, no, but there's a Julie Roberts movie, Sleeping with the Enemy, I think, where her husband knows that someone else has been there because the towels are hung unevenly after they've been showered on or something. So, I mean, I don't want to quite be a serial killer, but I would like that orderly, neat sort of aha. And if I take a piece of clothing off the hanger, and there's room for the hanger to wobble back and forth instead of it being bunched up against all these other clothing.
Clothes you don't wear if there's something.
Well, that's the thing. I want to wear them all. I mean, I don't keep clothes anymore that I will never wear. Maybe just one or two, but I'm gonna stop sort of getting clothing because there's just no room for it. But look at this. Look at that. How nice.
It's a fig tree.
It's a fig tree, native of Israel, sort of. Not the company. The company is some Chinese, Korean, Japanese. What is the company?
I don't know.
It's Zuru.
Zuru. It's Australian.
Or this is the Zuru equivalent, or this is also Zuru?
Oh, Miniverse.
Miniverse, the Miniverse. Anyway, I never read Mrs. Miniverse, but what else? What else happened this week? So we talked about that. Want to remind you, and this is tremendously important and ground shaking, that Monday afternoon, 3 o'clock. On Netflix.
Oh, we're going to watch it.
You're damn right we're going to watch it.
Monday at what, 3?
3 o'clock, so I hope we're home. You might not
Is
be.
it live?
Yes, it's the live
Netflix ever
showdown.
Done live? Okay.
Well,
Joey Chestnut's live.
They did a live comedy thing a few weeks ago. They also did that.
He did something with
that roast. Yeah.
No, he did something it was like a veterans base where it was like really not really professionally
done.
done.
Well, it was a last minute thing. Let's flip the backstory. Oh, here we go.
Look at the hot dogs falling.
That's class. Yeah. No, wait. I'm just gonna watch this for the next 2 hours. Look at it.
It is a good visual. You know exactly what's going to happen.
Brilliant.
But it looks like it's raining hot dogs.
It's raining hot dog man.
Where's my, okay.
It's a sausage party. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. So, on Labor Day, traditionally.
It says Tut on my Netflix. What is that?
What?
Oh, here, you want to read it's got.
Joey Chestnut and Takeru Kobayashi are going dog for dog in Las Vegas. So you remember Labor Day weekend, traditionally for years, they had Nathan's in Coney Island would do its hot dog eating contest. And Kobayashi was like the king for a while. But then Joey Chestnut ascended.
Oh, God.
What?
They're going to do Chestnut beat Kobayashi in a 5 hot dog sudden death. That's when he beat him. Oh, God.
What is that?
You can scroll back and show both of them.
Oh, yeah. Well, here's Joey.
Yeah.
He was just, come on. Oh, he just went, I guess you have to, there he goes.
Is he eating a hot dog?
Yeah, but he's eating it like a normal human being. He's just eating a hot dog.
That's for show.
Yeah. He's showing that he can eat a hot dog.
That's fine, Kobayashi.
Yeah.
Oh, he's trying to show his jaws.
Yeah, because they call him Joey Jaws. Yeah. Here's Kobayashi. He has the hot dog.
He's crushing the hot dog.
He's gonna crush it. He's crushing it. He's crushing it. Here's like, oh my.
If you scroll up, you'll see Joey's stats.
So here's the deal. Here's the thing. Joey Jaws Chestnut was the man to beat for 15-something years in the Nathan's hot dog eating.
When do they happen? Is it going to be done live too?
This thing on Netflix is live.
Yeah, but then we saw that. When was the Nathan's on 4th of July?
But he wasn't part of it.
No, I know, but you said it used to be done. The Nathan's.
Did I say Labor Day? I meant 4th of July.
The Nathan's used to be done on Labor Day.
Sorry. I meant 4th of July. Traditionally, Nathan's has its hot dog contest, and Joey survived. He set world records on those days. One time he stopped an idiot protester
Several.
who jumped onto the stage.
Yeah.
Joy didn't even know what was going to have a mouthful of hot dogs in another hand, and corralled him around the neck while he was still trying to eat and didn't break a record that year. No. But this time, Joey made a deal with Impossible Meats, which is non-meat. It's a company that makes burgers and I assume hot dogs and even steaky things out of plant-based stuff, which is all well and good, except Nathan's was like, we can't have you repping vegan food and being our hot dog king. And she was like, well, why not?
Yeah, why not?
You know, it's not like I work for you 52 weeks a year.
I still don't understand it, yeah.
So,
because all the other ones, they all play in other competitions, too.
Yeah, they all eat. Yeah. How many Cheetos can you eat in 10 minutes? How many wings? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what it was about them that they couldn't get through this rapprochement, right? Yeah. But they didn't. And both sides kind of blamed the other. So they slapped together rather quickly on July 4th. Joey went to an army base in, was it Texas? It was Texas, Happy, Texas, where they had an eating competition of all these veterans, or what do you call someone who's still in the
active duty?
But it was you said duty.
And it was like one guy, and they're like, "How did you get in the competition?" He's like, "Well, my roommate said you needed somebody, so I stepped in."
Yeah, these were not professional eaters.
No.
And so Joey beat them but he was on a pace. He was classic Joey that day. He had something to prove.
He really was not phoning it in. He was really big. But then didn't he, everything he ate, it became something for,
it was for charity, or helping veteran things. It was a lovely thing. It was thrown together, but it was done very well, right? And so, and meanwhile, the July 4th thing happened
David, you didn't like the girl who sang God Bless America.
Oh, what? Yeah, she was terrible, right?
Yeah, she was like, ah!
Yes.
It wasn't the girl who said she had to go in rehab.
That was a baseball game. That was the All-Star game. That was something else. That was the country singer who was drunk. She was drunk, and that had nothing to do with the eating thing. But she said, or at least she vowed to go into rehab. Whether she did, but but on the July 4th thing, we also remember they had what was his name? The lemonade drinking guy.
Oh God!
Big fat black guy.
He vomited.
The guy next to him.
He didn't vomit. Yeah. But he was like, "Give me your phone."
Yeah, please.
There was a meme. It was the guy who was like an influencer.
Yeah. So there's this big lovable black guy who just can chug lemonade.
Lemonade in the Nathan's hot dog eating contest.
We can show that again.
Projectile chugging.
So he wins the competition, but there's a guy next to him. As soon as the competition's over, there's this kind of fat, tubby influencer guy who's also an eater, but he just can't handle it. And, it's 80-some degrees out in the air in Coney Island. It's not pleasant. So you're doing this while the sun's beating down on you.
Airsoft fatty. That's the videos if you want to.
Airsoft fatty. Here he is. Was that... can I open TikTok or not? It's apparently TikTok. Oh, you watch TikTok, right? Yeah. So, okay.
It's your phone. You probably have
to. No, I have to install it. No, don't worry about it.
No, you gotta see it. Oh, what happened to it?
It's just look for airsoft fatty vomiting. That should bring it right up. And literally bring it right up. Yeah. That's what he said. So, this was the... Yes!
That's not what he vomited on the other guy. He actually vomited on the other guy.
He did? I can see that.
Because
they were leading him off to a tent.
Oh, that's right.
And he was vomiting, walking down the stairs.
He was vomiting while walking. That's why I got confused. He didn't vomit on the guy, but I think the guy was trying to help him.
So this was Airsoft Fatty. Yeah. I'm not calling him that. That is his nickname.
I think that's his handle. His Twitter handle, right?
He didn't really get a handle on it, that's for sure. Here is another one of him. I would love to get the video of him, but here's...
Okay, I'll get it.
It's okay. It's all right.
I want to get it for you to make you happy.
It will make me happy. Nothing makes me happy, but that will make me happy. So anyway. So here's the deal, though. Joey did not appear for the first time in years in this year's Nathan's Hot Dog competition. So there was room for other people to.
Oh God. Oh,
So
God.
I only remember. Was it Matt
Oh,
Stoney who won? Oh, show me. Oh, this is gonna be great.
Trying to auto rotate it.
Because I know the woman won, and I think she set a record for women. But let me see. What was her name?
Don't turn the phone. Okay, and then just press it. Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Wait, why is it dark?
I don't. Oh, here we go. Oh. Yeah, he's not doing well. That guy. He's not doing well at all. And the winner, the winner's like, yeah, our buddy's having some trouble here. He's like, thank you, I'll take the belt, and can someone look at him, this guy puking his guts out.
Poor guy. Does he help him? I think he helps him. Oh God.
You're all right, but no, I'm not all right. I'm not all right at all.
I'm telling you, if I was next to someone like that, that's totally not good.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. Oh, it's back.
So here's the deal. On Monday afternoon, Labor Day, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Eastern Time, noon.
Why do you still have the video showing?
Oh, I just exit.
I want to see if has Netflix done a lot of live broadcasts? Comedy shows. I don't remember anything.
Yeah, well, I think that roast we watched of the basketball guy.
WWE Raw Live.
Yeah.
Netflix Cup, Netflix Slam. A hot dog eating contest and a boxing match between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul in November.
Mm-hmm.
Stand up from Cat Williams, John Mulaney.
Right, they did
and
a week
the roast of Tom Brady. You're right.
Yeah.
So it's not
they're getting into this pay-per-view.
But
right.
It's not pay-per-view. It's part of your subscription.
Yeah. But it was the idea of pay-per-view, because that was the thing when we had cable 30 years ago, and it was like, okay, we're paying X amount of money for all these TV shows and these channels. Supposed to be no commercials. Supposed to be no. Meanwhile, of course, commercials get loaded in, and you pay more and more for less and less. And then they're like, hey, this is so special that we're not just going to let you watch this as part of your cable bill. If you want to see this, you have to pay more. $15 for the event. I think that's a
Byzantine approach.
Ooh, very probably the legalese around it is, but
I don't know what that word. Yeah, you gotta.
But the thing is, suddenly some person out the other people will pay more. Well, just pay more for individual things, and now we're in more of a pay-per-view kind of thing where people will say, well, I don't need cable because I'll just get my Roku, I'll get my Fire Stick, and I'll choose. I want BritBox, I want Acorn,
I don't think you can do things like that, like get a Fire Stick.
Why not? Yeah, of course you can. Well, it just means that you have this thing that can pick up all this stuff, and I guess some of it will be free, and then you have to pay for individual things.
Wait, Dave, here, do me a favor.
Yeah.
Why don't you vacuum up all of that?
Yeah, because I got a little piece of dirt somewhere around here.
Vacuum up the dirt you made.
A little mini vacuum. Okay. Well, I'll warn you folks, it's kind of a noisy vacuum.
Oh, it's beautiful vacuum. It's beautiful thing.
There you go. Oh, you can't. I'm vacuuming the desk. They can't even see me. I'm gonna have to do it like this.
Yeah, here. Show them my bookcase.
Sure. So, to have a place for all of my wife's adorable, tiny, mini toys, we got this. Ooh.
Do you want to throw your sloths?
We can. Yeah. Why don't we? If you stand off camera, you can do it. You're gonna open the new ones? Yeah. Go ahead. Open the new ones.
I want you to do it.
All right. So yeah, we get stuff. Because we don't have kids, we never had kids, and we don't really travel much. So to have a life of fun, we create our own fun, which includes having toys, and which includes toys that you can throw. So it's more than just throwing.
Just don't hurt yourself, okay?
I'm trying not to take my shoulder.
Oh, wait, I'll get you your helmet. Hold on. Yes.
Oh, yes! Uh-oh, I don't know if I can get these kind of melted in here. No, okay.
Where's your helmet?
I'm not sure what you're talking about then.
Oh, where's your helmet?
I don't have a helmet.
You do have a helmet.
On my penis, maybe. What do you
have a
want?
helmet?
All right, here we go. This is This is a sloth walker. So as cute as he is, and he does this wiggly thing. Oh, are you okay? This is the official sloth of the Dave's Gone By show.
That's a container.
I can just wear one of those your container things and put it on my head for a moment.
No, but you had the one. Remember the one we threw the balls at and stuck?
Oh, that! Yeah, that's somewhere in that closet. I don't even know where. There's so much crap. Oh, here we go. That's it. Yes.
Yes. It's so hard to do.
By the way, it's 10 o'clock
Put your protective helmet before you start doing that. I don't want you to get hurt.
You're watching Dave's Gone By.
I don't want you to get hurt, honey.
Thank you, babe.
Please don't hurt yourself.
You're watching Dave's Gone By with me, Dave Lefkowitz, my wonderful wife. All of you watching at home, we've got Annie Korzen coming up. We have our Bunion Watch, Colorado, Limerick of the Dam, Dave's Big Dictionary, where we'll be talking about the word byzantine and Greeley times. So, lots to talk about. It hurts on my head brain. There we go. She actually got this for me for was it my 60th or my 59th?
Why do you have it so tight? You got your head straps mixed up.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, want to come here?
I'll be right there, folks.
Can you lower?
I'm actually putting my important, protective helmet on my head. I live to be humiliated, ladies and gentlemen. There we go.
It says 50, but it's not for 50.
Yeah, it was for my 60th. Yeah.
Those are the points when you throw the balls at the head.
Oh, I could be like Rabbi Saul's brother now. Look.
Handsome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So here's...
Just don't throw it on your head.
This is my sloth throwing helmet.
Yes.
Because what this guy can do is stick to the wall and then come down it bit by bit by bit. It's really an extraordinary piece of science. Can I have a drum roll, please?
Hold on.
Oh, all right, hold on.
I broke my nail trying to get the box. Okay,
All
ready?
Hold on, don't throw my arm out doing this. I'm going to throw the sloth at the wall. Here he goes. All right, it's a little too high for the camera to see. I'm just going to angle it up a little bit. There we go. There he is. And what you'll see is moment by moment. And this could take about 15, 20 minutes.
Do the other one. You have to.
Oh, you're all right. I'll do the other one.
Do the other one. Try to aim a little lower so the folks can see him. Kiss him before you throw him. Maybe that'll help.
Oh, maybe, yeah. Oh, I can't. They're kind of, because it's been so warm, they're sort of stuck in here. He's got, okay. Now I just have to pull his balls off. Quite literally. There we go. All righty. Sloth number 2. All right. Behold. All kinds of fun. And I'm going to allow my darling and adorable wife to have a little game here. The idea is...
I think we actually have 2 of these, so we could play with each other.
Yeah, but we won't go on camera,
we
so...
have 2 where we can throw it. Okay.
All right, but here... Okay, you're supposed to throw the balls and hit them on the head to get points. All right. Oh! Ooh, here's one more.
Ah! You caught it with your head. Thank you.
You're welcome, and it's... What's green? What number is that?
That's 0.
Green is...
0.
Oh, well, close. Well, no, this is 50. 50, 50, 50. No, green is 100.
Woo!
Yeah, baby. Sweet. Good job.
Maybe we can do that on Netflix. We have 2 helmets, though. I don't know where the other one is.
But there wasn't one more in the box?
No, you have to buy 2 separate. Of course, but it's somewhere. I don't know where.
Yeah, so we did get 2 of them?
That looks like Elmo's nose.
I know, right? Yeah.
It's kind of,
Now, notice the sloths have not moved. They're brand new. So they're really going to stick for a bit.
They have sticky power. But they show that they're both facing forward, so we see their tushies.
Well, actually, I should pull this down.
But eventually they will turn the other way.
Yeah, they will literally, they're not just going to slide down the wall. They're going to flip over and over and back. And this excites our beloved Mel very, very much.
You're right near Mel, yeah.
It's a 4-mel day. Look at that, 4 mels.
Wow, 4 mels, 2 sloths.
Because I'm being informal.
And free eye exams in Spanish.
I kind of love that kid. All right, here we go. So there's more of Dave's Gone By.
It looks like the guys who played the guys who do the shooting on the Olympics. The stuff they.
Oh, oh, right. With the was he Lithuanian? What was he?
No, he was Turkish, but all the other competitors wore those kind of glasses. That's what I thought it was at first.
There's ridiculous assistive devices,
Yeah.
which they should probably outlaw that. It's like you can have glasses, but if you're suddenly using all these devices, how much of this is you shooting at a target?
It's like runners. They can wear probably tape, sports tape and stuff, but they can't take steroids.
True. So it's nothing internal, but external. There's nothing really stopping you from. I don't know.
It is a bit sketchy.
Like if you're a javelin thrower.
See, this
are
is
you
how
allowed
you're
to
supposed
have
to
stuff
wear
on
your
your hand?
like that tighter on your head.
Oh, that's it.
He's got maybe a lot of hair and stuff, but
Cool. Anyway, so I'm gonna put this down over here just to get.
It says, "Aren't you glad these balls are not actual oranges?
Get it?
Play, laugh, spark, create, relax, inspire. Aren't you glad? Revel in the ridiculous and embrace the absurd. It's the perfect catch game for those when your head's done in, but you want to still play."
That's nice. I like that. The other balls are over there.
I'm not going over there.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, more show coming at you of Dave's Gone By on this August 31st, 2024. We're calling it Of KORZ because Annie Korzen is coming by in about half an hour or so. Oh, we're going to be doing. Oh, wait, chickens coming at me. Whoa, chicken. Whoa, chicken. Whoa, chicken. Yeah. So is that a signal that we should be doing? You know what? Yes, it is. Okay, so here's the deal.
Use your bow phone.
Oh, my bow phone. So we mentioned earlier that Dave's Gone By, and we've been doing this for years, since my wife and I lived in Colorado for about 13 years.
What made you start it?
Oh, because, actually, I'll keep this handy. I just need a little more room here. Honestly, we started the segment because I didn't realize what was in our local paper. Because it was the Greeley Tribune. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
It was the Greeley Tribune, which is an actual real newspaper of news in northern Colorado, the rest of Colorado, and to some extent the world at large.
I'll take your phone.
More than a community. What do you need?
Your phone. I'll take it.
My community. It's more than a community newspaper, about like a national.
No, I think
Wall
it's a local. It's a town, right?
Yeah. So, or city even. I think Greeley might be a city.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, what is Greeley, Colorado?
Aren't you warm, honey?
I am. I would like
okay, I'm going to put the fan. I just thought it was me because I was you. Oh, Steph.
So, when we were living there, and I was just paging through this.
You want me to turn it the other way? Let me know if you want me to go the other way.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't blow things off the walls. Oh, it feels good.
Yeah.
Needed that. She got the fan going here. Living in northern Colorado, and reading this newspaper, and then I'd see something called Cop Log, or whatever it was called, Police Log, Police Form, back, and this is going back more than a decade. And I was just, I won't bother. So people calling in what their crimes were. It's like a crime blotter. And it's like, all right, they're printing it in the paper. And then I actually saw one time that the headline of this column, the headline, the most important scary crime news of the week, was that a horse pooped over somebody's fence.
How dare he?
And then I was like, wait a minute. First of all, it was a reminder that, I'm not in New York anymore. We're not living in Chicago. We're not living in Los Angeles or San Francisco or even Atlanta or Boston or something. We are living in, like, Greeley, Colorado.
Is today the 31st?
It is, yes.
I'll get your Greeley,
what?
Greeley Tribune horoscope.
Ooh, they couldn't hire me to write for them, but they have a fucking horoscope person. How nice. Mm-hmm. So the Trib is publishing this, and now I start reading the column, and I realize that they're not just doing crime stuff. This column is devoted to things that are ridiculous. Stuff, actual phone calls that came in. What's my horoscope?
A partner or friend might inspire you to aim higher. Minor disagreements or an emphasis on duty could be what you need to channel your energies effectively. Remember to spend wisely and save some money for a rainy day.
Yeah, that's me all over. I'm a cheap-ass Jew. I'll save as much as I can. But yeah, right. So all right, not too bad, not too bad. Spend because Labor Day weekend, people are going to be probably going to want to spend on some stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, we got one of those egg grills, so I can grill things.
You never won one, but maybe they'll. Let me see if they change the thing.
Yes, please.
Okay. Black plate special at Mission Barbecue.
No. They're going to change it in a day or two.
Yeah, it's still.
It won't be shrimp after this weekend. I promise you that.
It's still shrimp, I think. I got to get the Facebook page, but you keep going.
Yeah.
Val.
So,
I'm on Twitter.
So they published this column in the Greeley Tribune of ridiculous, funny, but real.
They're still trying to sell those shrimp, honey.
I know. But usually 2 days before, they'll probably be closed on Labor Day. And then a day or two before, they'll stop with the black plate.
They have
and then
something called sliced sausage.
Well.
Have you ever seen that?
I had one when I was 8 days old. Thank you very much. Slice, that looks good. How much? I might try that. You know.
It just says classic number 41. Great choice. They're just trying to.
Yeah, if I'm in the mood for sausage, I would get that. Yeah. But when they change that black plate special, presumably it's going to be a real meat, like a steak or a prime rib or something amazing, and not just like 7 shrimp on a plate.
I hope not.
I hope not too. Thank you, dear. So.
Yeah, they're going to change it soon because 4 days ago it says get them while you can. It's the strawberry shortcake and the shrimp. So,
yeah. I'll get something else while I can. And then when you change your black plate special back to something meaty, I will get that. Okay, so here we are. Time for something, a segment that we do based on the Tribune's cop log, and we call it Greeley Times because, these are the things that they're writing about that are happening in Greeley, Colorado. And it is our, oops, I got to play the music here. Da-da-da. Cop log. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, a little bit of Tom Waitsy music there for the hard crime, the criminal. Oh, did you notice? One of the sloths must have moved down.
Oh, look, yeah.
One of the sloths, we can see their little dingles.
That's the first one you threw because he had a mark. He had the trademark on his back.
So the sloths are coming slowly down the wall. This is so... God, how exciting this is. Who needs the Olympics? Who needs Joey versus Kobayashi?
Okay, we're not going to watch it.
We are going to watch that. We're going to watch that.
Oh!
Just see it go? Just see it go!
You were going to go splat. You challenged him and he got mad.
This is Joey versus Kobayashi, the real thing. So actually, we never really finished telling about that. I was just going to say that Kobayashi, who left the Coney Island thing years ago under disputes about stuff, and now Joey has been banned from participating in the competition at Coney Island. Both of them are going head-to-head live on Netflix, 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Monday, chowing down on hot dogs. Now, I guess Guinness-wise, they could still set a record for the number of minutes. It doesn't have to be done at the Coney Island thing for it to be a record. So I'm just, I'm so pumped for that. So let's do some criminal activity in and around Greeley, Colorado. For example, we have a call. I got the bow phone. Yeah. Hello. Mm-hmm. So this is a call from 65th Avenue.
Use the chicken. I don't think you can.
Oh, I got the chicken. Well, I'll do the chicken. Oh, you're right. It's hard to hear. And this is my good ear. Hey, okay. I got the chicken phone now. Yeah, thanks for calling back. Yeah. You're still on 65th Avenue, I know. Oh, yeah.
What happened?
A man was hiding in the bushes outside the Greeley Family Funplex.
Oh, God, that's not good.
Maybe he's just playing hide and seek.
I don't think.
Naked.
Outside of the Greeley Family Funplex.
Yeah, no.
I don't think you can hide in the...
Well, you can. I don't know if it's maybe private property.
I was there with my friend who's a really good swimmer.
Yeah.
And, there's a family section where you could, if you have children or young ones, you can go in like a family change area, and they monitor that pretty strictly. They don't want anyone in there doing creepy stuff.
Exactly. Well, maybe that's why they call. It's there's a guy in the bushes.
Yeah. Maybe he didn't want to pay for the locker room. He was just putting on his swim shorts.
That you kind of got to do in the locker room.
Yeah, that's true. Mm. That's true. Maybe he was playing Where's Waldo.
Maybe he's playing with his Waldo. Strangely quiet. Usually we have more. Oh, there you go. As soon as I said it, I knew the phone would ring. Oh, okay. We have another caller. A caller at a restaurant.
It's a wind-up phone.
On 17th Street reported finding. Oh God.
What?
Reporting finding something at the bottom of a dumpster. Why?
Wait, a patron?
A caller at a restaurant.
So we don't know
probably some from.
Hopefully, it's not a patron going to the dumpster. How long till my order's ready? 15 minutes. Okay.
Boom.
Let me just go do some work in the dumpster.
I don't do that. Well, what do you think they found at the bottom of this dumpster?
I hope not a dead body.
Well, they didn't find that. They did find a bloody axe.
Oh my God. Yeah, but okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Nobody even the workers, if they're throwing away oil or whatever, they're not going to go diving in a dumpster. Oh, look, he's bent.
He's coming down. He's coming down.
His little tush, he's sticking his back out.
He's going to flop in a minute.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody, how could you find, and an axe would sink to the, an axe would sink to the bottom.
It did. That was the thing. The axe was at the bottom.
What does he do? Unless you're a garbage person collecting garbage from a dumpster, you're not going to be looking that deep. I'm sorry, that's suspicious.
I know. Unless the dumpster had been sort of empty. And they were putting garbage in it, and then it's like, wait, what is this?
Do you look at a dumpster before you put garbage?
I would. I would say, maybe there's buried treasure. I'll be the lucky person who finds the $8 million diamond that someone accidentally threw away in the bottom of a dumpster.
It seemed like that was what they found, yeah.
He had wrapped, the caller, though, wrapped the blade in a plastic bag and was on his way to the police department. Is he coming down?
Yeah, he's front forward now.
Yay. See how they're slowly. Has that one moved?
No, the top one I don't think did.
Wow.
He began facing the wall, and I don't think he fell. I don't think so.
It's not a close race. I mean, this one's
coming straight. Look at the little scrunchy face. They're so cute.
So, and there we go. So he's bringing the axe to. I guess he's warning the police. I'm going to walk into the police station with an axe.
I would say to them, like, can someone come pick it up because they want to look at the thing as a crime scene, maybe.
Maybe, unless
why are you touching
a butcher.
An axe? Yeah.
Well, it could also be a butcher hacking away at meat. It's a restaurant.
They would know. Remember that time in Greeley when I went to the restroom. So I went to the restroom. It was a sushi place.
Yeah.
And I always have to go, right? It's part of my health condition. So I urinate a lot. And I went to the bathroom and I look on the back of the tank after I went to like get, and then I see like this large it wasn't even a machete. It was like a large sharp
knife.
Yes, sharp.
It was a knife on top of the toilet tank.
Yes.
And it was a knife that sushi chefs would use.
Yes.
To create sushi.
Yeah.
And it was in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Laying on the toilet.
Room, so on all the chefs, the sushi chefs were male.
Oh.
So I don't know what, and then I remember I told her, I was like, honey, I'm going to go down. I said to the server, I said, I don't know how to tell you this, but there's like a large knife. I don't know if it was theirs. It could have been somebody left it.
But it makes me wonder, it's like, employees must wash their hands. If the chef is preparing things, he's like, oh crap, I got to go. And he's like, I'll take it. I don't know why he's Japanese. I take a woman.
In the ladies' room.
Well, I went in there. So I don't know if it was, and he watched over me while I was in there.
No, but it was a one-of, so I guess they're one-of stalls.
Mutual,
maybe it was one-to-one. But I asked you to fetch it, and we told the
Did I actually carry it out?
No, I think we, no, I don't think we touched it. I think you went in to double-check I wasn't hallucinating.
Yeah.
And
why I didn't take a picture of it, I don't know.
I know we weren't so cell phony then. But then I remember telling the girl, I said, I don't know how to tell you this, but there's a large knife in the restroom.
But the idea of how that got there, it was like a ginsu.
No, it was huge. It was like a very sharp, pointy.
Yeah, like something you would chop vegetables with.
I don't know.
On the toilet tank.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, it wasn't bloody or anything. It was clean.
Thank God. But no, I could see how it happened. But I wouldn't grab it and start waving around. And anybody lose this knife?
But I wonder if they brought it back to I was missing a thank you. Like,
no, they could put it in the dishwasher.
yeah, I could. You would throw it out. I'll bet you have this thing of like, no, it was in the toilet. I'm not going to use that knife ever again.
We don't even know if it was theirs. It could have been a customer's. It could have been because were they fixing something with it? Like I don't know. What were you doing in the bathroom? I mean,
with a knife like that.
If
yeah.
you have to pee and you gotta go, you drop the knife and pee. You're not going to take it with you.
Exactly.
Like it's not attached to you by a chain or anything.
No. This was one time I have we've been on a.
David, it was like this. Yeah. It was like a sharp point.
It's like not a Swiss Army Ginsu. Yeah.
No.
That was a beautiful moment.
Maybe it was somebody else's.
Yeah.
They didn't seem too shocked by it, so maybe it's a
we should have announced to the. Is anybody here missing a giant, really sharp knife?
No, you take it out like this. Woo!
Is this yours? Go up to people. Does this belong to you?
Is this your
I found this. Is it yours? Is it yours? Can I keep it? Like. Oh.
Well, I blame you because I like the egg restaurant next door, and you don't want to go. You wanted to go for sushi.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what happened. You never found a knife in the egg restaurant.
No, I certainly did not. But we went. Was that our usual? No, that wasn't our usual egg.
No,
it was the alternate one of our usual egg restaurant. All right. Anyway, it's quiet again.
Oh,
why is it so quiet? Wow, 2 phones ringing at once. I'll get this one. Okay. A caller at an apartment complex on 11th Avenue said that a man was north of the building in a raspberry bush.
That's pretty specific.
I know. This is one of those things. I should teach my students, like, one detail makes it funny. There's a guy out there waiting in the bush by the restaurant. No, or the funplex.
The raspberry bush, the raspberry bush, the raspberry bush.
Wait, he was specific. He's in the raspberry bush.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him. It's probably comfortable.
Maybe he was farting.
Maybe he's hungry. I wouldn't go in there. It's probably yummy.
Yeah, probably
Raspberries are good. They're a little seedy, but they're good.
Hey, just because they can't afford to live the way we do doesn't make them seedy. So,
he fell.
Look at this slop move. I'll grab the vacuum phone.
Don't put it in your ear. That's my vacuum.
There we go.
Don't mess up my vacuum.
All right, here's your vacuum.
I'll make it short for you. You want to have a tiny one? It can make it a tiny one. See?
I'd rather have a long one, if you know what I'm saying.
No, I can't do it. Forget it. I don't have to.
No, don't break it. This is like a be. I'll grab the other phone. I'll grab the bookcase phone. Here we go. Yes? Explain yourself. Thank you very much. So, okay, on the bookcase phone, we have a caller at the Greeley Municipal Courthouse.
Wow.
Who said a woman had a hearing in which she faced charges of driving without a license.
Oh, no.
The judge told her she couldn't drive. The caller then watched her walk out of the courthouse and drive away. Which is kind of beautiful. It's just like, she's literally just been told.
That courthouse was not so good. I remember I went there one morning. I was going to be called for jury duty, and I had a large thing of coffee because it was early.
Yeah.
And you're not supposed to bring liquids because it could be acid. I could be cuckoo pants. The guard held it for me while I walked through the metal detector and then handed it to me.
That's all right. I mean,
it could have been anything.
Yeah. Let's go back to the old days before the Islamic terrorists. So you could have brought a cup of coffee.
No, I could have had something not that. I could have had something against one of the judges or the
I know,
or the
always,
defendant or the lawyer.
But there are candy machines and things inside.
But not liquid like that.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember. I did one day of jury. It was wonderful. I did one day of jury duty here in Maryland. Mm-hmm. It also said duty.
And you made a new friend. You said some nice teacher lady, right?
Oh yeah, no. So we were a convivial group. We were so happy.
Where'd you go to lunch?
Well, what happened was, no, it was idiotic. It was kind of dumb. It was rather dumb. So we were there all morning, right from about 8:30, 9 in the morning, at jury duty. And it was January 3rd.
Oh God, it's so early.
Because I had to do it because I was still on break from school. Mm-hmm. And so we're there and we're waiting. Okay, fine, we're waiting. No calls. and literally they put on the Tom Cruise one. I think it's one of the Mission Impossibles.
Oh
or something
yeah,
like.
yeah, the films.
Just it's hey, if anybody wants to watch, here's the Tom Cruise film. We all
Yay!
yeah, it was nice of them. I didn't need it. I was
it
working
the
on my
old Top
computer.
Gun or the new one?
What? I'm sorry. Oh, it was like the remake, the later
wow.
Top Gun.
So
it was
that's
Top Gun.
good.
You're right.
A new film.
Yeah.
Good.
It was like a year old. It was like
Oh wow.
They had it on DVD. It was
Oh
like
my God.
So
There's
we're all
probably illegal bootleg.
chuckling because we knew we had to watch the thank you for doing your civic duty thing, and this is how it works. Fine, we always watch that. But then they just put on a movie to kill time because we're there for about 3 hours doing nothing. The movie ends. The woman says, "Okay, nothing yet. Come back after lunch." So now we all have to go find lunch. I go to a local bistro and had a very nice.
What did you have? Greek, I think, right?
Was it? I think that's just like a sliced steak or something. It was a little pricey, but it was good. It was actually very good and nice, and it was kind of restaurant wasn't really full, and it was 2 blocks from the courthouse because they gave us like barely an hour to go and come back and do our thing. So I'm like, okay, and I run up and basically it cost me in the restaurant what I made. Yay, you sloughed out. It cost me in the restaurant what I made for the day doing jury duty, almost. And then I come back. And we're there for about half an hour. The credits were still rolling. It was Top Gun. And she says, well, they worked out whatever they worked out, because a lot of things, before they come to trial, they try to work out pleas so things don't come to trial.
Why do they work on it on the same day? Why don't they do it ahead of time?
I don't know. Well, I think sometimes defendants or the lawyers or whatever, when it comes to the fact of like, okay.
It's going to be real,
last shot.
Yeah.
Let's cut a deal,
before we go.
or we go in there, and now it's going to be there. You could lose, you could this, as opposed to
you get a bigger fine.
Take the plea, do the. So she said, "Yeah, we have one thing," and they took the plea, etc., and everybody go home.
We were just. You lost your car in the parking lot again, I think, too, right? Didn't you? You had some trouble finding it. You said
no, I just had to figure out how to use.
A hotel parked on certain floors, you parked on other floors, or something.
Yeah, I went to the wrong parking. I was so happy I didn't give a shit. Because the parking's paid, as long as you show your validation. It's the first time I ever used validated parking.
I never used it.
Well, now we used it at that Trader Joe's.
One
time. Oh, don't get me started on Trader Joe's.
It wasn't Trader Joe's.
Yes, it was Trader Joe's.
No.
Oh, was it Whole Foods?
Yes.
Oh, it was Whole Foods.
Whole Wallet.
Whole Wallet. Not so much. Some of the prices were fine, and this was a whole other story here. During our blackout, we had a blackout. About 3 weeks ago. And then, so when we come back, no, it was the day of the blackout. It was the night of the blackout. So we didn't know what the hell to do. We're going to sit in our hot house with no lights, no air conditioning. We go to Whole Foods to just...
But we forgot. Someone told me you have to shop in under an hour and it's free.
Yeah. Not even, or was it free? No, it was like $6 or something like $2 or something for the first hour. And we stayed an hour and 10 minutes. And it was $12 to park in the Whole Foods parking lot.
We had our gift certificates that were 20 years old, and they
still honored one of them anyway. So really it was kind of like found money anyway. But the idea of having to pay $12 just to fucking shop for groceries, and also the food sucked. Not the groceries we bought, but we were hungry. We wanted food because we couldn't make dinner. We couldn't prepare anything.
I used to the one in Gravesend when I was in Brooklyn, right?
Yeah.
And that one was they had a delicious salad bar. Everything was super fresh. This one, it was late in the day and everything was a little bit...
pizza was gross.
Yeah, I liked the pizza.
Oh, it was all right. And then I had, what was a sushi there or some kind of... Oh, it was sushi I think I got. It was just like bad supermarket sushi. It was nothing. I mean, this is fucking Whole Foods. Food is in your title. Make some decent food. Very, very, very disappointing.
Go back, honey. Look what I hear.
Oh, all right. Yeah, we have a few minutes before our guest comes. So we've got...
oh my! You can't tell me it's 10:30.
It is 10:30. Somehow an hour and a half has gone by on Dave's gone by.
Did you move time when you moved the sloth?
I moved time and space. Look, the sloth keeps crawling.
But the other one is stuck there. Look at the other one. You think he's ever gonna fall?
Ooh, maybe he's.
He was super sticky.
Yeah.
He's stuck on there.
That's our first one today. Yeah. So anyway, what was I saying about? Oh, the courthouse. Well, the courthouse. That's how we got on the courthouse thing. But yeah, no, I kind of like that courthouse. It literally had a mini Statue of Liberty in front of it. Remember that? But it was literally the size of me.
No, it was tinier.
All right, here's another call. A caller on 20th Street reported 3 peacocks in the backyard.
Whoa.
Oh, remember we said about a turkey roaming around?
Yeah, I wonder where they came from.
Now, the caller lived in a gated community and didn't know where the peacocks came from. And this idea is like,
a zoo.
they don't have birds of color in this gated community.
Those birds are too blue.
I was like, how did that bird, is walking around? Let's get the cops just to look after
Maybe
it.
didn't get past the guard. They usually have a guard.
Yeah, but 3 of them, 3 peacocks. And in related news, the NBC television network suddenly turned black and white last week.
Oh,
So
I do the peacocks.
So we have elsewhere. We have a story that is not from Greeley, Colorado at all, but it is a weird and ridiculous news. Sometimes we do that on Copla or on Greeley Times, just because I want to share this news with you, and it's recent. All of these things are recent. This happened. This was just on like a week or 2 ago. Reported in the New York Post, of course, and comes to us all the way from Brazil. And it's about a model, Brazilian model Débora Peixoto, who has been maligned by medics over her bizarre skincare routine.
Oh God!
Ladies and gentlemen, what does she do? What do you think her
I hope
skincare?
it doesn't involve any bleach or dye or.
It does not involve
It's
bleach.
got to be something bad because why would medics malign it? It can't be something healthy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, the lovely Débora Peixoto
Oh God!
cakes her face
Yeah.
in her own poop.
Oh, you can't do that.
She can. She does. She is.
Why?
Yeah. Quote, "It's the craziest thing I've done in my life," she told Jam Press of her method, which the 31-year-old shared on Instagram. The influencer who previously... What?
Wait, give me... Oh, what's her name? I'm going to look it up.
Débora, without the... Oh, there we go. Débora, without an H. Peixoto, P-E-I...
Wait.
Sorry.
Okay.
Peixoto, P-E-I...
Sorry, hold on.
Yeah.
Okay.
P-E-I-X-O-T-O.
Let's bring up David. Let's see.
So anyway, this is a Brazilian model and an influencer who is going viral. Oh, you have the pictures, don't you?
Click on whichever one you like.
Yeah. All right, let's do this one. There's her skincare method. Yeah. That is not a mask. It's not a mud mask. It's a crud mask.
Like, what made her think of such a
Well, here's the deal. Here's the thing. By the way, she had previously gone viral for putting period blood on her skin to soften it.
What's wrong? Like, what?
I would have done that if I'd known back when I was having my period that I could get rid of some of these wrinkles. I would totally use my Menzies blood. She said she decided to don the fecal mask after reading online, because you can trust the internet on these things.
Of course.
That it could, quote, prevent aging. And she says, it worked. My skin stopped flaking. That's because the flies that buzz around her are eating all the... The model has 650,000...
She wears it overnight.
Oh. Would you want to be the person doing her sheets at the laundromat? I don't think so. She has 650,000 social media followers who watched her open a container of her shit and smear it all over her face like a mud mask. She then pinches her nose closed with a clothespin to mask the stench, and she does leave... Well, where does it say she leaves it on overnight? This says she just has it on her face for a couple of minutes before washing it off.
Here she's doing it. The first one.
She's actually. Oh my God. I wonder if it works better with diarrhea. This is real, though.
But there's a coli. There's a lot of bad stuff.
Well, here's the deal. Experts were quick to slam this bunghole beautification. I wrote that, claiming the health issues outweigh the alleged benefits. One dermatologist went on record to say, quote, "There is absolutely no scientific benefit to your skin in using feces as a face mask. Plus, it makes you more susceptible to bacterial and viral infections, food poisoning, as well as, quote, redness and discomfort." A colleague of hers added, quote, "Feces contains a plethora," and I apologize to you, Pooey. I'm not making fun of you. I'm just wondering. I know, I love you, Pooey. But it's true. There's a reason I don't put you on my face. It's because you have bacteria, viruses, and parasites, including E. coli, salmonella, and helminths. Have you ever heard of helminths?
Yeah, that's a worm.
Yeah,
That's a
Hellman's.
Worm, yeah, worm. You can
But I
have
ate Hellman's mayonnaise.
No, that's Hellman's. That's different.
That was a little joke there. Little bit comedy. Thank you very much. And they can cause infections and diseases.
All about this. This is not.
Yeah. Some Instagram viewers also wondered
Some people said it's chocolate.
I know. Wouldn't it be funny if, you know?
That's what this one said. It looks like chocolate.
Well, yeah, it does. But it does, if you know what I'm saying. I'm sure you don't. Some Instagram viewers wondered what the world is coming to. Quote, "People are just getting too extreme on the internet. This is why the aliens don't talk to us."
I think that's true.
I love that. This is why they're not making contact to our world, because people are doing this under the guise of you know, aging or anti-aging. However, and I say this, however, some cosmetologists do recommend using
Who?
bird droppings, which have chemicals that break down dead cells.
Some expert said seek therapy.
Yeah. But which would you rather have on your face? Bird poo or your own poo?
Neither.
Well, no, if I could try.
Here she's doing it with the.
With clothes, but she got the clothespin on her nose, yeah. But would you try either of them? I know you said neither.
No.
But if you had to, bird poo or your own poo?
I'd rather let my face be my face. I don't want no bird duties. Bird duties or human duties. I don't want it on my face. It goes in your colon or in the toilet.
Right. So neither at all. Neither.
Oh, yeah. What's the coffee where coffee costs more when they poop it through the animal?
Oh, it's a civet.
Yeah.
There's this animal, a civet, that eats
I wouldn't
berries.
do that either.
Really?
No.
Well, it comes. I mean, they wash it. They do stuff to it. That's the difference in this case. With this woman's poo, it's just sort of coming out of her butt into a container, and then she's slathering herself with it. I don't know. Maybe she could go into a consortium of two other women and call themselves the Three Pooges.
Don't do it.
Yeah, no, don't do it. Hey, let's finish up Greeley Times for this Saturday morning before we have all this other stuff to do. We've got Bunion Watch, Dave's Big Dictionary coming up. We've got Annie Korzen going to be joining us in the Daverhood talking to Rabbi Saul Solomon. So let's do one more criminal activity. A caller, there they are, at an unknown address, asked an officer to calm her husband down because he was being annoying.
Oh yeah, well there you go. That's
you would call the police.
That's legit. I think I have one speed dial. Like yes, ma'am.
How does this not happen daily to everyone?
It's like the ones where they say, "Can you tell my son he's going to get in trouble or something?" Yeah. That's called family dynamics. You got to deal with that stuff yourself.
Exactly.
No, you got to deal with it, even though it's of interest. You can't.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that for this Saturday, August 31st, 2024, on Dave's Down By was Greeley Times. How's our slot?
Mr. Horace Greeley was no fool. I'm sure that you'll agree with me that Greeley was no fool.
But he is getting back. Mr. Greeley was no fool.
Yippee-yi, yippee-yi, yippee-yi-yi-yi, yippee-yi, yippee-yi, yippee-yi.
So it is about 22:11 Eastern Time here in the Daverhood.
Is your lady in the room?
Dave Lefko's not yet. I'm hoping that she will join us.
I'll check your.
She's still 5 minutes early, so we're still
Yeah,
okay.
Oh yeah, I can't believe. I thought it was like 9:30.
No,
I
it's
literally thought it was
10:40
9:30. I know.
Eastern time here in the Daverhood. I want to remind you about a couple of things. First of all,
She
well,
said
no,
she will set the alarm for that ungodly hour.
right? Most of our guests come on at 10, but our California people.
California.
Here we come. So before Annie Korzen gets here, let's show you my foot. All right, here we go. It's time for the size and condition of my bunions. A segment that we call. Here, wait. Play the drums to the actual. Where's? I gotta get it. Here we go. Here's Bunion Watch.
She's Bunion, she really is a good one, she's Bunion. Listen, doctor, to my plea, it's time for bunionectomy. Bunions, feet of mine have got to go. Please get these bunions off my toes. My alpha foot my alpha bunions, bunions, painful, painful, bunions, bunions, painful, painful.
Yes, actually, they're not painful. I can report very happily and merrily that my bunion feels perfectly lovely. Here it is. This is the big bunion on my right
Big
foot.
Bunion. It's the BB, Big Bunion.
This is Mount Bunion Rest right here. You can see we're using the poo as the height. So it
Just
goes up.
don't rub it and make you like that girl.
Well, I want to keep my bunion smooth and age wrinkle
I don't
free.
think that would be healthy, honey.
So I can twist it around another way. There he is. Look at that beautiful shining bunion. But this was not the foot that gave me trouble all those months ago when I first started Bunion Watch. Here's the foot. Again, the bunion wasn't the issue. The issue was a soreness I had around this toe. But here is the left foot bunion, smaller than my right foot. I don't know if it'll ever overtake my right foot bunion in terms of size and shape and magnitude. But it is fairly impressive. It's a kind of a reasonably sized
I
bunion.
never understood that. Like, I understand your dominant side gets more of a whatever, but I never understood why things aren't even.
Are there people who get bunions on only one foot?
I guess. Here, I'll ask.
I suppose, yeah, please.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
I'm curious.
I was looking at your Facebook. Can you get a bunion on only one foot? Yes, a bunion can occur on one foot or both. In fact, having a bunion on one foot, it's bad, can indicate the 2 feet are functioning differently. So that's bad. Yeah, it's genetics.
Yeah.
Runs in families, foot structure. For like flat feet like us.
Yeah.
Leg length. If one leg is longer than the other or shorter, it can develop a bunion. Arthritis or inflammation like rheumatoid arthritis. Or wearing heels or tight shoes can increase the likelihood of that.
Wow.
This is a way you can relieve it. Wearing low-heeled shoes in the wide toe box, like space.
Yeah.
Using a bunion pad to keep the big toe from rubbing against the shoe, and doing foot and toe stretching exercises.
Toe stretching.
We should do that. Maybe we get some. Yeah.
Oh, toe ups. Like we have a little bar hanging from somewhere. They just go on the toe. Oh, there we go.
Some people have a bunion, but it's probably better to have it on both. It means your feet are even.
Yeah. And obviously they're not quite, or else my bunions would be the same size. So I'm right foot dominant, right side dominant. So I'm not quite even in terms of everything. And
here we go, honey.
I guess I'm dark on both. This is fairly even. At one point I was going more gray on one side of my face. I was like, well, this side of my face was dying faster than this one.
Scale. You could.
Oh, my bunion scale. Look at it.
It's real.
Here we go. Oh, what the heck? There's like a mummy foot in the middle of the foot. It's like normal, I mean, not normal in terms of the hammer toe, but Jesus Christ, look at that foot in there. That's like they pulled someone out of Auschwitz and measured their foot. Oh my, anyway, oh my God, it's a quarter to 11 Eastern time.
Okay.
And we're very excited because we have a guest coming into the Daverhood.
Is your lady in there?
All the way from the West Coast. She is an actress, a comic actress most of the time, and she has appeared on shows like, well, most importantly, Seinfeld. And then she's also done some other credits that Rabbi Saul will tell you about. And she's become kind of viral for all these little videos that she's been doing on TikTok and Instagram and so forth. She's the author of the book of Annie, Humor, Heart, and Chutzpah, from an accidental influencer. Ladies and gentlemen, let me bring in to the Daverhood the one, the only, the Jewish Rabbi Saul Solomon, because he is has been with us since our very first episode, and he has the honor of talking to Annie Korzen on Dave's Gone By. Don't go away. Oh, shalom, my friends, shalom, my enemies. This is your old pal, your old buddy, Rabbi Saul Solomon, founder and spiritual leader of Temple Sons of Bitches in Great Neck, New York. And I am little, there we go, that's a little bit better. Ladies and gentlemen, we are welcoming to the Daverhood an actress, a Jewish actress, thank goodness, veteran actress. You have seen her in such movies as Woody Allen's Stardust Memories and Tootsie in small roles there. She was also on L.A. Law on the television. And then she got this small little role on a show that you might have heard of called Seinfeld as Jack's wife, Doris. Well, of course, that put her in a whole nother level of people knowing who she was, even though she also did more TV shows like Oliver Bean. Remember that? No, nobody remembers that, but she was on there, and she does a lot of Jewish characters, surprise, including playing a character, this amazes me, in a movie about the Menendez brothers, but the character's name is Yenta. I guess they just kind of threw that on as a description. She was also playing, she was on Jane the Virgin as Mrs. Cohen, and a character called Deborah, or Devorah, on a show called I Feel Bad. Well, what can be more Jewish than that? But we feel good to be talking to the author of the book of Annie, Humor, Heart, and Chutzpah, from an accidental influencer, someone that you've been watching on TikTok and Instagram and places like that. Won't you please welcome to the Daverhood on this Shabbos morning, Annie Korzen. Shalom, Annie.
Hi, how are you? Those are very ancient. Can I bring you up with some more recent credits? Those are really ancient.
Sure.
You can
please.
see me now. You can see me now in the movie Thelma with June Squibb. It's just been very popular in theaters. And I was on Pen 15 and Why Women Kill. I have more. Those credits are ancient. I do still work. By the way, that Menendez Brothers thing, that was a Law and Order series. They did a Law and Order true crime thing. So that was part of the famous Law and Order
But your character,
franchise.
did they call you Yenta? Or did they just, was that your
You
credit?
know, I think you're right. I don't remember, but it could very well be because I didn't have it. I'm not sure how, I don't look at my resume that often, but it could very well be. It's not just Yenta. My thing seems to be, although I think I'm a very nice and charming and lovely person, my specialty seems to be obnoxious characters.
Wow.
Like on Seinfeld, I actually played two different roles. I'm one of the few, there are a couple of other actors who played two different roles. My recurring role was Doris Clompus down in the Florida condo. And so my husband, Jack, is always fighting with Jerry's father. So that put me in a lot of the classic episodes like Raincoats, The Pen, the Cadillac, blah, blah, blah. But they also used me as an obnoxious airline passenger. I don't know if you remember this. When Jerry gets bumped up to first class and Elaine is stuck in coach, she's sitting next to me. And I explained to her, I'm chewing gum, I'm totally obnoxious. Excuse me.
Oh, you
And
have. Yeah.
I explained to her what kosher food is. I say, it all depends on how the rabbi kills the pig. That was my line.
That's actually very good. So we have with us, of course, Doris Clompus, but her real name is Annie Korzen. But these more recent roles, they do cast you as, is it specifically Jewish, or is this as like older person, obnoxious-ish?
Obnoxious, urban, older person. Urban. I don't play country people. Nobody casts me as a farmer's wife, you know. I'm a big city girl, both in life and in fiction.
So how did you get initially into the acting game, Annie Korzen? What moved you in that direction?
It was kind of accidental, really. I was a piano teacher. I grew up in the Bronx and everybody had a piano and I was a piano teacher. And I met my husband who's Danish, and my husband is a Danish filmmaker. As a matter of fact, my husband, Benny,
That's a Jewish
was involved.
Danish, Benny, yeah.
Well, actually, this is unusual. He is a Danish Jew. There
Oh,
aren't that many of them.
He's produced
Yeah.
Benny's Feast, if anybody wants to know.
He was one of the producers. I mean, it was really his partner who produced it, but Benny was on the team. And to me, that's one of the greatest movies ever made. We still watch it once every couple of years. We just watch it for around the fourth or fifth time. It doesn't grow. Some movies don't grow old, and that's one of them. Also, The Godfather. We just watched The Godfather trilogy for the fifth time. It still works. It still works. Do you find that certain things just are still good?
Of course, the producers. The Mel Brooks movie, of course.
Yeah, I know it very well. Benny was a friend of Zero Mostel's. Yeah, we knew.
Do you have any Zero Mostel stories? Any memories of him?
Only that I can tell you that he really did not want to be an actor anymore. He did it because I think it was his brother or his brother-in-law was his money manager and ruined him. Didn't pay like millions of dollars in taxes. So Zero had to keep working. What Zero really was a painter, and a wonderful painter, very fine painter. And that was his real passion, much more than the acting.
Well, at least he did. We can say how awful it was what his brother did to him, but because of it, we have Zero Mostel in the front. We have Zero Mostel doing that last tour, Fiddler on the Roof. We have Zero Mostel doing Rhinoceros.
Right. It was his brother did a mitzvah for the rest of us.
Really? Honest to God. Do you have memories of working on that Woody Allen film, Stardust Memories? Any thoughts about Woody, or were you just there for the day?
Yes, well, he was just weird. It was just a very small role. I think I had one or two lines, which were improvised. There was no script, you know. And what was weird was he wouldn't actually, I mean, we were not stars, we were bit players. But for the bit players, he would not actually come and talk to us directly. He would send the first AD to say, Mr. Allen would like you to move the cup to the left. Mr. Allen would, it was a very odd, I guess is that shyness? I don't know. But we never really had direct contact with him. I think come to think of it, I think it was the same at the audition. There was a room full of people. The casting director ran the audition. He just sat there and observed. So I don't know what to make.
You're not the only person who is, you know, it's not the only film where that was his modus. I don't know if it still is.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If he wasn't dealing directly with people, and even with the people he was dealing with, sometimes he just let them do what they do and only contact them if there's something specific that he wanted. But let me also ask you, this is sort of the opposite, because on Seinfeld, you felt a part of that because you were this recurring character of Doris.
Yeah.
I think I read somewhere that you at first you were shy, you didn't want to, but you overcame your shyness in the worst possible way.
Did you, when you say you read somewhere, did you read that in my book? I have to show my book to
My
everybody.
book, the book is
I'm thinking,
called The Book
The
of
Book of
Annie.
Annie.
Yeah.
Humor, heart, and chutzpah from an accidental influencer. We'll talk about the influencer thing. But yeah, when you come up, my first day on the job, I was just there as a bit player. They didn't know that the role would recur. And when you're a bit player on a show, there's a pecking order, there's a hierarchy, right? So if the leading actor is sitting next to you in makeup, you don't approach them. They might be studying, they might be thinking. At lunchtime, you don't sit with them. You sit with the other bit. But as you say, since I returned several times, I started to get friendly with him. By the end, I was friendly. As a matter of fact, I'm still in touch with Jason Alexander, and he hired me years afterwards to play his sister in a theatrical production of Neil Simon's Prisoner of Second Avenue. So I stayed friendly with Jason, but anyway, it was a very congenial set. It was a very nice. That stuff comes from the top, and Jerry is just a nice guy. So
Well,
people would treat
how
him.
was Larry David though? I imagine that Larry's.
He was nice in his own way, but peculiar. He's just peculiar guy. But
Yeah.
it was a nice, friendly, it was a nice atmosphere. It was fun going to work.
I just
And
remember.
I love Jerry Stiller. Jerry Stiller is one of my friends. And I know people in his family. I'm friendly with his daughter, Amy. Jerry Stiller, by the way, who couldn't learn his lines. And they had somebody there with him all day long, grilling him on his lines. But he always delivered. He was a pro.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I guess he got to the age where, well, are you, and we'll get back to the Seinfeld thing, but are you at the age where lines are a problem or no, never?
I am at the age where lines are a problem, but lines are not a problem for me. I mean, you could say that I'm at that age.
Oh, so, but you're not, because I don't think lines were a problem for Jerry Stiller in his 40s, 50s when he was doing stuff with Anne Leary.
I don't know. I don't know. That's a good point. I don't know if it was an age thing or if he'd always had that. Some actors, and I think I've worked with some actors don't let you know it, but they're dyslexic.
Oh.
There are a few actors who really just can't read, so they have to have that. So I don't know if he might have had that. Who knows? But something in show business, like in any other business, if you have a handicap of some kind, you figure out how to work through it if you want to get the job done, right? You just get the job done.
Oh, exactly. If I could have figured out a way to be 5'11", oh no,
Me too.
the synagogues I would have preached to. I can't even begin to tell you. But let me ask you though. But was there the thing that as you got friendlier with the folks back, I mean, off camera, that overcompensated, that you kind of were like,
No, what happened with me is, see, in the beginning, when I first did the show, I was very relaxed around Jerry and Larry and all of them, because when I first did the show, no one had ever heard of it. To me, it was just another job. So yeah, hi, how are you, hanging out. As I returned, and as the show got more important, and as it became, by my last episode, it was a global phenomenon. I got so in awe of them that I lost that relaxation. And my problem is when I'm not relaxed with people, instead of being quiet and shy like a normal person, I go the opposite. I get verbal diarrhea. And I would run into, a couple of times, I remember the worst time I was at a supermarket.
Oh.
Late at night, Ralph's in Hollywood. And I realized that Jerry was standing right behind me online with a young woman. And I turned around, he recognized me. He's always nice. He always says hello. I started talking. So, hi, Jerry. Oh, how are you? Oh, is this your girlfriend? Oh, is he Jewish? Oh, that's not. No, what do you buy? Do you cook? I could see his eyes glazing over. Like, who is this insane woman? And I could not stop myself. It's one of the lowest points of my life. I really totally embarrassed myself out of nerves, out of being intimidated. And it was totally unnecessary because he was a really sweet guy, easy to talk to.
Did that ever happen to you with any other celebrities that you've worked with on TV or in movies where you were next to somebody and Or maybe you got to be shy instead of being like. But have you ever been?
Gee, I'd have to think about it. I'd have to get back to you. Well, the last job I did, I mean, it wasn't painful or anything. The last job I did was Thelma. And I walked onto the set, and there's the star, June Squibb, who, by the way, is 94 years old. And she has no trouble with her lines. And the other actor in the scene was Richard Roundtree. Now, I remember Richard Roundtree from
Shaft.
Shaft.
Yeah.
And I was so excited. He still looked gorgeous. I mean, he's an older man, but with white hair, but he's still beautiful. And I couldn't believe it. So I had a fan moment. So I went up to him and I said, "Excuse me, Mr. Roundtree, can I pay my respects to a legend?" And he's very sweet. He looked up, he looked around. "A legend here? Where? Who? Where? Who?" I mean, he just kind of
See, that's a happy.
played with it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's so sad that he passed before the movie opened. And that was too bad because he was the leading man in that movie.
Wow. I'm sorry, is it Thelma with TH as opposed to Selma, the movie about the march?
TH. Oh no, it's a recent movie. It just played a couple of months ago. Thelma, starring June Squibb and Richard Roundtree. And it's very sweet, it's very fun, it's very enjoyable. It hasn't streamed yet because it was playing in theaters. It opened in theaters. To very good reviews. And I'm sure it'll start streaming one of these days. Everything does. But
what do you play in that? What is your character in the movie Thelma?
I just have one scene, but it's a kind of a cute scene. They have a running joke where wherever Thelma goes, she thinks she knows somebody. "Oh, I think I know that woman. Oh, wait a minute, I think I know." But in my scene, she actually comes up and approaches me. "Don't I know you?" And we have a whole discussion about, are you a friend of this? Which temple do you go to? It was a whole thing of, where do I know you from? And at the end, I guess we don't reach, but it's too bad. I imply it would have been nice. It's a sweet little scene.
No, that sounds adorable. Now, did you have a sweet little scene or two in a movie that I saw on your IMDb page called Toomey, the Hungry Tumor? Do you have any memories of doing that?
None, absolutely none. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was
had Tom
movie.
Arnold. It might have been animated. It was Tom Arnold and Ronnie Shell, if you remember him. You're on there.
I don't remember that. That's on my IMDb page.
Toomey, the Hungry Tumor. Did you ever do a
Never heard of it. I
Wow.
never heard of it.
Oh my. All right. Okay.
But occasionally IMDb does that. They have me
It
credited.
hallucinates, maybe, yeah.
Huh?
It hallucinates something.
Yeah.
AI does. It's sort of like they think you're in something, and then. So, who else do you remember working with? Like you were in Tootsie. Do you have any memories of working with Dustin Hoffman or Jessica Lange or any of the folks? Or
in Tootsie, I had, I think, one line. I'm a fan. I run up to get his autograph or her autograph. And for that one line, I had to audition in person 3 times. And all the audition tapes, the casting director explained to me, all the audition tapes were sent to Dustin Hoffman because he had to sign off on every single character, including someone like me who only had one line.
Wow. Well, you got lucky. Now, let me ask you.
And then when we were shooting out on 57th Street in the street. And in between takes, most actors go and they sit down, they recharge, they think, not Dustin Hoffman. In between takes, he was in drag, he was in his, costume.
Outfit, yeah.
He would run out in the street and wave at truck drivers and flirt with drivers. He stayed in character. Hi, and shimmy around and stuff. He stayed in character the whole time.
That is, back in the day, that real method that those guys were doing, like Pacino,
right,
and Hoffman. And so let me also then ask you in terms of other celebrities that you have worked with and memories of them, good or bad.
Well, let me tell you something. Can we stay on Seinfeld for a minute? Is that okay?
Absolutely, yeah.
Jerry Stiller is one of the funniest. He's kind of a lot of people's favorite character on that in that show. In real life, Jerry Stiller was educated, erudite. So this is back in New York. I went to I went to something very odd. It wasn't the Moscow Art Theater, but some great classic Russian theater came to Broadway, and they were doing Chekhov. They were doing not the Seagull. What's the other famous one? The Cherry Orchard.
Yeah.
They were doing the Cherry Orchard in Russian. So every serious theater nerd in New York was there. They had the, what do you call it? You could read the English on top.
Super titles on the thing. Yeah.
Super titles, right. And I was curious. I was curious to see it, and I see it, and I go out during intermission, and there's Jerry. And he comes up to me, we start talking. We start talking about the play. He knew everything about that play. He knew everything about all Chekhov. He said, you know, Annie, the character they always miss is the servant. He's a crucial character because blah, blah, blah. It could have been a university
A lecture by this
lecture.
Yeah.
That's how well he knew his. And then at the end, he said, and I always make a joke about that, since time immemorial, would all actors ask each other before they leave? So Annie says, "You're working?"
You're working, you're getting it. And what's lovely is that you're still working, that you are still doing, because when I introduced you, I mentioned these parts that for you are ancient history, because they were in 80s, 90s, 2000s. You're still doing stuff, but people might know you post Seinfeld because somehow accidentally you became viral. What happened? What was that first?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I've always been a storyteller. I've always been a writer, actress. I call myself a humorist. I don't, because some of my stuff gets emotional, so I don't like being called a stand-up or a comic, because I don't just go for the gags. My stories, I hope they're fun. I hope they're funny.
Yeah.
Huh? What's that?
Making a bad point. Go ahead. Yes.
So I did this thing called storytelling a lot. But then I was talking to a young friend of mine, she's 30, and I said, I wish I could find a larger audience for my stories. I think I have something to offer. So I said, I think maybe I should make some little clips and go on Instagram. I said that, never having been on Instagram. I don't use Instagram. I don't understand it because it's all pictures. I'm not interested in, I don't get it. Anyway, she said, she's 30, right? Oh, Instagram is so toxic. It's so last century. You should be on TikTok. And I said, are you crazy? Why would anybody want to see me on TikTok? TikTok is about young girls putting on makeup, dancing. She said, trust me, Annie, you will go viral. And that was 1 week before the lockdown. It was March 2020. 1 week before the lockdown. So she would come over to the house, and we started shooting these little things, and I had no idea what we were doing. I just trusted her. And it's actually, I got to say this, it's one of the themes of my book, because I've tried to train myself that my answer to everything should be, yeah, why not? Yeah, why not? You don't know the results of what's going to happen in your life. When I got Seinfeld, it was because another actress turned down that part because she felt the role was too small for her.
Small parts, only small actors who have small parts, but that's
right. And I didn't know. No one knew it would be recurring. No one knew that the show would blah blah. No one knew I'd get a second role. Those few little lines that she turned down. I once figured out from the time I started in 1991, my residuals have added up to over $100,000.
Now, I did want to ask about that.
But
you get any money? Let me ask you, from Tootsie. Do you still get a check for $1 every
yeah,
years?
yeah, I sometimes get checks for 5 cents from Jane the Virgin, or 40 cents from I don't know what. But sometimes I get, but Seinfeld, I still get substantial checks, and from some other stuff. Oh, but anyway, wait. So I started doing the TikTok thing. And I cannot explain to you, it's a mystery to me why it went the way it went. I now have over 400,000 followers. Over or of all kinds, and not just old Jewish ladies like me. I have young black kids coming up to me on the street telling me how much I have. I mean, it's been an amazing adventure. Just because, again, like I say in the book, say, yeah, why not? What could you lose by trying something? I only regret the things in my life that I didn't do. I don't regret anything that I did, except some moments about marrying my husband, but that's it.
and your behavior in that supermarket with Jerry. But let me also ask you, in terms of, so are you parlaying that? In other words, you have this fame, you have this thing of being recognized now, not for Seinfeld, but for being on TikTok. Do companies approach you to push their product?
Occasionally, I don't change. I don't. Yeah, I've done some brands. I don't chase after that because I don't want to think of this as my business. These young kids, these influencers, I hate that word, who do this full time and make a zillion, but this is their job. This is what they do. For me, it's a fun side thing, but I don't want it to be the focus of my life. But I have had some brands, and because of my platform there, I was able to get a book deal. That's how I got the book published. And because I got the book published, I've now been invited. You're a teacher, right? I'm going to teach a class at Emerson College, not the one in Boston, but the one in LA. They've invited me to teach a class in what I do, which is called storytelling. It's called writing and performing the personal humorous essay, which is really what I do. I've done it with the Moth. I don't know if you know the Moth. That's my specialty.
And it's all Spalding Gray. It's all sort of influenced by what he was doing.
Pardon me?
It's all sort of influenced by Spalding Gray and what he was kind of doing.
He was a monologist. Yeah.
But reading as well, performative reading as opposed to going up there and doing monologues.
Yeah, or David Sedaris is the one you think of these days.
Well, they're going, so they don't really count that much.
But anyway, so the book has definitely led to other things. And the best thing for me, I was on a movie. I had a short scene with Jane Fonda, which was fun because she and I actually know some people. It was fun to just kind of hang out with her. But again, it was my usual like 4.5 lines. And we rehearsed. And the movie was called, what was it called? Yikes, you probably know my resume better than I do. It's fairly recent. It was Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda.
Oh, they got them back together. Yeah, right. So.
But anyway.
Yeah.
I think it was called Moving On. I think that was the name of it, Moving On. It was a couple of years ago.
All right.
And the director was, what's his name? White's. I forget his first name. Last name is White's. He was, I'm a big fan of his because he was the co-writer and co-director of one of my favorite movies about a boy. Do you remember?
Is that the one where they had
Hugh Grant. I love that movie. It's one of those movies again that I watch again every once in a while. So we're rehearsing a little scene, and the director, why can't I remember his name? That's so stupid. Paul Weitz, I think it is, Paul Weitz. He takes me aside, and I figure he's going to give me notes, and I know what he's going to say. Because on every job, on every TV job, on every film job I do, I get the same note from the director. They take me aside. They say, Annie, it's going great. Your timing is perfect. Just on the next take, do me a favor, bring it down a little bit. Because I'm a theater person.
Some of your stage person.
Big, too loud. Yeah. I forget that. But that's not what Paul Weitz says to me. What Paul Weitz says to me is, Annie, I just have to tell you how much I love your story about your Black grandson on TikTok. And I fainted. I thought, Paul Weitz follows me on TikTok and is a fan. Oh my God, that was like a big day for me. That was really a.
Now, was this storytelling, or do you actually have a Black grandchild?
My storytellers are all real. I tell stories about my life. He's adopted. And he goes to Hebrew school. He's being brought up, My son didn't go to Hebrew school because we were not observant, but my daughter-in-law is more traditional. And
So
the child is
what do you
extraordinary.
and your husband Danny? It was Danny who said
Benny,
Benny.
Benny.
Sorry. How much do Yom Kippur? Do you do any of the holidays? Do any of
No, I do what I'm invited to. If I'm invited to a break fast, I'm there. I'm invited this year once again to a wonderful big Rosh Hashanah lunch.
So if there's
Uh,
free food, Jews go.
it's free food, I go.
Yeah.
But no, I wasn't brought up with it. My parents were your typical immigrant lefties and the Holocaust. After the Holocaust, my mother said, if there is a God, I don't like him. That was her. That was her take on religion. So I was brought up in a very secular
Did
atmosphere.
did you lose family a generation beforehand to the Nazis out in Europe?
We don't know. Probably, we don't really know because the family that stayed behind in Russia or Ukraine or wherever garbagey place they came from, no one kept in touch. No one kept contact. Those families were so big in those days. Everybody had 5 brothers, 5 sisters, blah, blah, blah. So I knew the ones that came here, but I sometimes wonder about that. If there's any possibility that his family's still there. I've never done one of those. Have you ever done one of those tests?
Oh, the
Those,
23andMe and the 1, 2, 3 thing.
yeah.
I put the spittle in. Apparently, I'm related to Hitler. Who knew?
Oh,
Who knew?
okay. Okay, well,
Had only one testicle.
at least he wrote a book. At least he got a book published,
Well, so now let me ask you. You wrote a book before this book, the book that you're pushing right now.
Oh, yeah, a bargain
Saving
junkie.
money.
Well, and actually it's another one of the themes in it's not a theme of my book, but it's one of the subjects I talk about a lot on TikTok. I did not know that thrifting was a trending subject with young people. I had no idea. I grew up poor. I grew up being taught never to waste anything, never to waste money, never to shop retail. And that's the way I've always lived. That's the way I've always lived. I don't know if you can see my house in the back, you see I have fine antiques and art and whatever.
Yeah.
All bought on the cheap at yard sales and thrift stores and estate sales. I don't shop in stores. So I made a thing about that. And I had a friend who's an editor. She said, Annie, you should write a book about how to live well without spending money. And so I did. But it turns out right now that that's a big topic for a lot of my followers is thrifting. What I hate is labels. I hate people walk around, it says Coach, Chanel, blah, 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 blah. I mean, I'm not going to show a label unless they're paying me. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, you're right. What Nike? With Nike on the thing or Lacoste.
Nike, you can't
Why am I
avoid it.
advertising for you? I should bring my
Sneakers.
name on the thing. Yeah.
I know. I have friends who do things, they embroider over it or they, anyway, sorry, you're going to ask something.
What is like your proudest moment as a shopper where you got something that you paid minimal for it and it's like,
Gee, that's interesting. I've had a lot of, actually, it wasn't mine. It was my husband's. When we went around, he doesn't do it as much anymore, but a lot of these things that I shop for, I then sell. I use it, being a writer and an actor, guess what? I do not have a steady source of income. This may come as a surprise to you. So I've had to do other things. So one of the things I did was a lot of these treasures I would find, I would resell. So I had a business. I still do a little bit of selling vintage fashion. As a matter of fact, if you remember the show Mad Men, they bought a lot from me because I had that 50s and 60s jewelry and stuff. So I bought vintage fashion and jewelry was mine, and my husband dealt in rare books. So we would go around on weekends. That was part of our job, which was also fun because I love treasure hunting. But we went to one sale up in Bel Air, very, very fancy, and they were getting rid of everything. There was some kind of old box lying on the floor, and Benny goes over and opens it, and it's an old Mahjong game.
Yeah.
We know nothing about Mahjong or the game or if it's we don't know, but it was kind of nice looking. We liked the way the tiles looked. And Benny said to the guy, how much? And the guy said, oh, give me $12. It was either 12 or $15, which was a lot for us. We bought things for $1, but Benny just had an instinct. He said, okay, done. And we came home and he did a little research and he put it on eBay and we sold it for $1,500.
Oh my, wow.
Because we didn't know this, that old Mahjong games with the original tiles is a highly collectible. Who knew?
Because you go into a yard sale, an estate sale, and there's everything lying everywhere. So unless you're someone who's like, oh, I'm looking for this, you're just going in and it looks like it's worth $3. It looks like it's worth $10. You don't know
Right.
unless you
Right.
Yeah.
You had to have an educated eye. In this case, he did not have an educated eye, but he had an instinct. He had a good instinct.
Speaking of instinct, so what's like the most precious book that he has that he wouldn't even sell? That is like,
oh, he sold them all. Well, there was one. He has sold them all because we had to move and we didn't have the room for it. It wasn't a book. Actually, he did sell it, but one of the great finds he ever found. We go to the estate sale, and I don't know, there's a collection of, what do they call it? Not paraphernalia. There's a word for it. A Latin word, I can't remember. It means printed things, letters, postcards, personal kind of thing. There's a Latin word for it. It escapes me because I'm old. And he picks up a postcard and it's written in German. Benny can read German. And he realizes that the postcard was written by Albert Einstein and it's signed. And he didn't pay 50, he paid maybe $100 for it.
So they knew.
Because they
knew it was
Einstein.
Yeah.
But they didn't know what it said. And apparently, I didn't know this, when you're collecting autographs of famous people, it's not just the autograph, it's the content. And what he said on this postcard was, it seems that the older I get, first he spoke about the war. He said something about war is coming. I just know it. It's going to be terrible, something like that. And then he says, and as I age, as I grow older and older, I grow stupider and stupider. Now that's a great quote from someone like Einstein.
Yes.
So he sold that to a dealer for a couple of $1,000s. And then the dealer, of course, sold it to a collector for many thousands of dollars. He was the bottom of the,
right. He's the mega man, but that's wow. That's pretty amazing.
But, I've done, and this was fun. I try to do things that were fun. And that's also something I talk about in the book, that I think that the Book of Annie.
You're pushing that book. It's the
Book of Annie. Humor, heart, and chutzpah from an accident. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it at Barnes and Noble. You can, I don't know, I think you get it on Audible. Yeah, I also recorded the audio version.
Oh, yeah.
Get the book.
Listen to her doing the book.
Yeah,
it's great.
But the thing is, what I say in the book is, a lot of people on TikTok, they ask me questions. The young people ask me questions. How do I do? What should I do? Where should I put it? And what I say is, you can't predict how your life is going to go. All you can do is do what feels right to you. Do what brings you joy. I feel sorry for these kids who go to school just to learn a profession. They're not going to school anymore to get an education. They're going to school to learn how to make money. They have to, because life is so tough and so demanding. But I feel sorry for them because they're not getting an education anymore. I got but anyway, my point is, maybe instead of doing that, maybe follow what do you really love to do, and do what you really love to do. I have a young neighbor I'm very fond of. She's a young woman in her 20s. I've never seen anybody who loves kids as much as she does. She sees a baby, she melts. She sees a little toddler, she just loves kids and they love her. Meanwhile, she's doing some corporate jobs that she hates. And I said at one point, you know what your talent is, you know where your joy is. Why don't you become a nursery school teacher, a public, why don't you do something with kids? Said, well, she said, because you don't make any money doing that. And I thought that was sad. I thought it was sad that she can't follow her passion and she's got to be stuck in some boring, soul crushing corporate job that's not her. Do you know what I mean? Now, I've always followed my passion. So I did the acting and I did the writing and now I'm doing the humors and blah, blah, blah. I have paid a price for that. Financially, I paid a big price for that. But that's the life I chose for myself. So I think you got to choose, you got to make your choices based on your joy. I do believe that.
But you do get a joy out of doing the viral videos and all that. But do you feel the pressure?
I do.
To have to do a couple every week. You have to sort of...
It's more than a couple. I do feel the pressure. I post twice a day.
Twice a day?
That means I have to do 14 a week. They used to want them very short. When I first started, you couldn't go over, I think it was 60 seconds was the limit. Now they're pushing, they want long form. They want them longer. And I always think, how am I going to keep coming up with stuff? But I do, because what I do is I just observe life that's going on around me. I'll see somebody doing something, or like we were in a restaurant the other day, a bunch of friends, and there was a young man at the next table whose voice was so loud, it cut through everything. And there was nothing wrong with him. And the person he was with, I don't think was deaf. He was just a loud talker, but it really invaded our space. And so I just wrote a TikTok about, and have you ever been next to somebody who's having a personal conversation on their cell phone and you're like a trapped or you're a captive audience, right? And so I did a TikTok about how come people are not more aware of their surroundings, of the effect that they're having on people nearby. They're so into themselves that they forget that they're part of a world, out there.
And also that dovetails again with your Seinfeldness, because there was the famous low talker episode.
Right.
So it really...
And the loud talker. Right.
We've been talking loudly with Annie Korzen here on the show, where we want to push her book one more time. It's called The Book. Hold that thing up. Hold it up close to the camera. Put it right in front of the camera. Beautiful. The book is Humor, Heart, and Chutzpah from an Accidental Influencer. You can get it wherever books are sold, including the audiobook that she narrates. Who's the publisher on this, by the way?
Well, they're called Postal Press. It's distributed by Simon & Schuster.
Wow.
But the publisher is Permuted Press, which is a department of a company called Post Hill Press. They're very small. I mean, they're not one of the biggest.
But hey, it's out there. People can buy it. People should buy it, because you can see the stories that she has. You can see the life that she has had, and the humor of this person, of Annie Korzen. So Annie, let me ask you, as our going away thing, what do you foresee? Well, yeah, what do you foresee over the next 5 years in terms of your life and career?
Other than death, I just want to keep doing what I'm doing, only more of it, and get paid more for it. I love writing. I love acting. I love storytelling. I'm going to be with the Moth. I'm going to be on the Moth Radio Hour.
When?
Which is, they haven't given me a date yet. Sorry, it's my early morning scratchy throat.
You're Jewish Chef Lem, I know.
I don't know what that is.
Actually,
so I really want to just keep doing what I'm doing.
Are you you've done also solo shows as a storyteller? Are you
Yes, I have. I've done solo shows, but I'm not. That's so much work. I found that's creating an hour and a half of material. But as a storyteller, it's 10 minutes of material. So as a,
That's good. Well, everybody, look for Annie. Do you have a website actually that we can send people to?
Oh, sure. Annie Korzen. Thank you. I didn't think of that. It's anniekorzen.com is my website, and it's A Korzen on TikTok.
A Korzen, Korzen.
You got it right. You got it right. No one ever gets that right. Thank you.
You're most welcome.
They always do it with a C. They say Annie Korzen, which is what heart in Spanish. But it's not my name.
But no, we are having not a Zen moment, but a KORZ moment here at Daverhood with the lovely Annie Korzen. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I hope you do some more Jewish things, quite honestly. But whatever you're doing, health and happiness
Oh.
to your husband. And thank
I
you.
do. Wait, I should say that because of the book, I've been invited. I'm doing a lot of temples. I do. I have several coming up where either we do it on Zoom or I come in person and we talk about me and my life and the book. So I should send that out there. Temples, I'm available.
And look,
I do that a lot.
my temple is Temple Sons of Bitches in Great Neck, New York. And
Yeah,
we
okay.
don't do the high holidays, we do the low holidays. So maybe we can get
Okay.
you Tu B'Shvat or one of those, or Shoah Day, maybe.
Whatever. I'll do it. First, you'll have to explain the holiday to me, and then I'll do it.
Shalom to you, and thank you
Okay.
so much.
Thank you. Okay, bye.
Shalom. Annie Korzen, my friends, here in the Daverhood on this Shabbos morning with me, Rabbi Sal Solomon. Do get her book. What a delight. So much fun, such great stories, such a life of the way she has wanted to live it. There's a lesson in that for all of us. You can have a crappy, boring day-to-day job that pays you really, really well. Why do that for longer than you have to? Do it a little bit, get a little money, give some of that money to me because I need it, and then go do whatever you want because life is short. I mean, we're coming up on Labor Day in a couple of days. If all your life is labor, what the hell is your life, right? Make time in your life for the things that you love to do. Have a good pastrami sandwich. Have a little, have a little fun with your wife or your girlfriend or your boyfriend or whatever you want. Make sure you make time for that too. Make time to watch a movie or a TV show or go to the theater or go to a baseball game. Something you want to do that is fun, that takes you out of the things that are not fun. Because you're going to spend a lot of your time in life doing things that are not fun, like watching this program. But do things that you want to do. That's what life is all about. That's what I'm all about. One thing I do want you to do is go to my website, shalomdammit.com, shalom, D-A-M-M-I-T, shalomdammit.com, where you can watch my stage show of storytelling. You can watch my television program that I did years ago called Shalom Damn It, Rabbi Sal Solomon's Peace, Love, and Acid Reflux Hour, and also read all my mini sermons, which are generally not as happy and joyful as this one. What can I tell you? Anyway, Dave is going to be back in a moment to continue the rest of this episode of Dave's Gone By. Do not go avec. Wait, where's my music? God damn it. Here he is. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Dave's Gone By with me, Dave Lefkowitz, my darling and adorable wife, who is signaling to me that she's going to get, that this afternoon she's getting the COVID shot. So yay for her. Apparently they've readied it, they perfected it. It's the next brand that's getting whatever, Omicron 57. Did you hear that Fauci got sick last week, but not COVID? He had some kind of,
Fauci?
yeah. See how he's doing.
Your interview seemed very lively, huh? What a lively guest.
She was great. Well, Rabbi Sal is always great.
Did you ask her about bunions at all?
I did not. And she's a Jewish woman. She probably has them.
Maybe that's one of her things.
Oh.
So, okay.
So, yeah, what
disease did Dr. Fauci have last week? West Nile virus.
What?
It was so severe he had to be hospitalized.
West Nile?
Yeah. A mosquito in his backyard.
Wow. And I was sitting outside for like an hour yesterday when we were over in...
Oh, no, did your mosquito bite you?
Well, remember there was that mosquito who kept hovering around?
There are friends in D.C.,
Yeah, oh my, West Nile. He's probably thinking, God damn, I spent all that time on COVID. I couldn't cure West Nile. Oh well. Oh well. So congratulations. So yeah, after we'll go do a little shopping, we'll eat, and then you'll get your jab.
I think you'll get we gotta get like probably bagels because that's like the treatment for beforehand.
Yeah, so we'll do that kind of shopping.
I'll chop the salad. Yeah.
Maybe we'll hit to Little instead of
Whatever you want. It's up to you, honey.
All right, fine.
I just don't. Yeah.
Well, good for you. Good for you. And that'll set you up because we'll have to go traveling.
It'll last 6 months. I looked it up, so yeah. 2 weeks
All right.
to get thing and then
So we have a bit more to do on this episode on this August 31st, 2024.
And later on, I'll get the flu shot. Not now, but I don't get it both at once. But I'll get the flu shot.
I thought now you're excited about it. Like you're like, I'm putting juice into my arm that's going to affect my body.
I'm not doping. It's not steroids. It's the health thing.
And no, God willing.
It's
and God
not a
willing.
steroid. It's
I know, yeah. But I mean, anybody approaches me with a needle
one
of
time,
anything.
One time in Colorado, you were in New York, and I had to give a presentation.
Yeah.
And I had it was the flu was bad. It was a bad flu, and it was just bad. There was nothing.
No, flu sucks.
Yeah.
Flu is not good at all.
So go ahead. I don't want to steal your sunshine.
Well, no, well, we have our Colorado Limerick.
I made it 250 because I know your show might run longer. Then we get foodies. So
we get food, right? And if we're gonna go into that area, we can.
There's the supermarket that you said is there, yeah.
Which? Well, right, yes.
You could
near.
get if you want your boba.
Oh, I can try that place.
We have the menu in the car.
Yeah, we'll do it. Or you can. Yeah.
Bacon. I thought you get bacon.
Bacon. Me like the bacon. All right. So, our Colorado Limerick of the Damned is coming, where we're going to Ashcroft, Colorado, for a horrible poem.
Doesn't sound real. That's not a real place. Ashcroft.
Well, wasn't Ashcroft one of the cabinet members of George W. Bush? He was one of those asshole right-wing idiots.
I don't know Ashcroft.
John Ashcroft, I think was his name. I mean, it's a fairly common name. I think there's a musician who was in the Psychedelic Furs. I could be wrong about that. Probably am. I'm going to check since I have Google open. Let's see. Ashcroft musician. Let's see. Richard Ashcroft, who is with, who is he? He's a singer and songwriter. Looks like he should be in Oasis or something. What was his thing? He's in The Verve. That was it.
Oh, The Verve. It's a bittersweet. Is that one?
See, it's confusing to me because there was Verve and The Verve, but I think they are the Bittersweet Symphony Gang. I think.
The Verve and Verve?
No, there was the Verve and the Verve Pipe, but it was the Verve who did Bittersweet Symphony.
Your guest said, thank you, it was fun. Please send me the link when it airs.
It airs! That wasn't a rehearsal. That actually happened.
Oh my God.
So anyway, we're before we even get to Friends of the Daverhood, though, of which Annie Korzen is now one, we will get to the thing that I have to do, that I promised you all, is to show you my big dick. Sherry, where we've chosen a word, or Merriam-Webster's has chosen.
Oh, whoa, look at the two.
Oh, yeah, the sloths.
Whoa.
Look how low, look, he's all the way, I think you can't even see him behind the chair there.
But the other guy made his way. Good
There
for
you
him.
go.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Maybe the fan helped it too, gave it a little oomph.
That's right. They're sloth, but steady.
Do like this? Just.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Got that off. Okay. So, Merriam-Webster word of the day. Byzantine. Yes.
Byzantine.
It just slipped a little bit more.
I'll give you.
So here's the word Byzantine for August 31st, 2024, that Merriam-Webster has chosen as their word of the day. I've got to talk about it somehow. Something described as Byzantine is very complicated. And by the way, you can use a capital B or small b, apparently.
It says here,
Yeah. What does it say in the regular
It says relating or characteristic of an ancient city of Byzantium or Byzantine Empire, often not capitalized, intricately involved and often devious.
Ooh. Yeah, all right. Labyrinthine. It's sort of like,
like a Byzantine plot.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly that. Oh, and it's the last word in the dictionary for B. Look
Woo!
at that. Isn't that cool? Often not capital, intricately involved, devious maybe, characteristic of that ancient city. They probably had a lot of tunnels and shit like those fucking assholes under Gaza. Like, just labyrinthine things.
I think
Yeah.
we were just like maybe a code-based society or something. I don't know.
Oh, maybe. The company's they give examples on Webster's. The company's Byzantine accounting practices have gotten it into trouble with the government because they're sort of hidden in extra books.
Convoluted, yeah.
Works of Byzantine, Byzantine means of the empire, so that's fine. Here's in context from the LA
You
Times.
said yours in continents. I
No.
was like, what?
Well, here's in context. This is from a couple of months ago in the LA Times. Consider that California has among the strongest state privacy laws. However, tech giants like Meta and Google are still accused of some of the most egregious privacy violations. A powerful and universal federal law is required to rein them in, which would be more effective than the status quo of a Byzantine patchwork of state laws. Did you know that the city that lies on the Bosphorus Straits in Turkey, we have a Turkish
our
friend,
has a house there.
is named Istanbul, but it was once known as Constantinople, a name when it became the capital of the
Byzantine Empire.
Byzantine Empire, the eastern half of the Roman Empire back in the days. Comes from the Latin word Byzantinus, which was the early name for that city. Anything characteristic from architecture to intrigue, something intricately involved, not easily understood. Okay. Byzantine is the word, and I kind of have to figure out what to say about it, what to talk about for like 5 minutes. Oh, I didn't play my music. That gave me 20 seconds to think of something to actually say. This is Dave's Big Dictionary. Extra, tell all about it. It's Dave's Big Dictionary. I realize I'm not someone, I really never was someone who appreciated things that were Byzantine. There are people who love these movies like Inception that are so complicated, that are so like twisty plotting, like every 10 minutes you're not sure what's going on. Spike Jonze kind of makes a couple of films like that. Like, not Spike Jonze, the band leader, the later guy. Who's that writer that Jones works with who did adaptation, which I did like?
Who wrote adaptation, the movie with Spike Jonze?
Kaufman? What's his name? Charlie Kaufman. Charlie Kaufman. I can't. I try. I tried Synecdoche, New York.
You can't follow them, yeah.
No, because they're Byzantine in their logic and their thinking.
But so are some Broadway shows. Are any Broadway shows like that?
They can be, and I usually am not into them if they're that ridiculously intricate. Not into the. I'm usually kind of bored by some of the imports from England about the royal family, where they're good to a point, and I know they're well put together, but I just this prince and this king and this that person's trying to work against them.
Blackadder.
All these subplots. Well, I do enjoy Blackadder. So that's there a little bit.
Plots.
It isn't. Well, how Byzantine?
Well, he doesn't know he killed the king, and then he's got the other king in his bedroom, and.
Well, that's plotting. But imagine
here.
25 strands connecting together. And I don't like Byzantine much of anything. I don't like mazes. I'm not big on going to a coin maze.
Wordle. You like Wordle.
Wordle. To me, that's not Byzantine because it's a fairly simple thing. Sudoku, if it becomes too different, is Byzantine. It's like, I have a 9. I have a 9, and so I can't put a 9 here, but the 9 is over here.
Maybe an escape room would be Byzantine.
I would hate escape rooms.
Really? You could solve the puzzle? Yeah.
No, I wouldn't. You could. I couldn't solve those.
You could solve it as a team.
I would just nod and go, that's a good idea, and wait for
somebody
and hope.
Get you out. You
Yeah.
just scream, get me out of here now! I want to die. They really have cameras in the room in case people really get stuck.
Oh, of course, and I'm sure the corn mazes have video monitors.
Probably a drone to check on people.
To make sure people are okay.
I hope so.
So, but even in, I teach English. I teach on some level writing.
I'm sure the students think grammar's Byzantine.
Maybe.
My grandmother used
English
to always say, English is really hard because how come you say, she'd say the word K-N-O-W.
No.
Right. And say the word,
Well, say N-O-W,
say the
Now.
word K-I-N-D,
kind,
and then
say
say the word K-N-E-E.
knee.
It's knee.
Yeah, without
There's
the
no
cut, without
cut,
hard
yeah.
cut. Yeah, I mean, or even like R-E-A-D spells what?
Read,
B-R-E-A-D spells what?
bread.
Why? Who thinks of this?
Not me.
But breed is B-R-E-E-D. It's a nutty,
Or
crazy
to me,
language.
like, when I use my computer to read to me, like to read what I write.
Yeah.
And she always does read. She gets that wrong.
Oh,
Sometimes
wow.
she gets names. She'll say it, read or read or wrote, and it's wrong.
And there's so many exceptions and ridiculous
Yeah.
things in grammar, like it's and whose, where the rules are different from every other
Yeah.
art. I mean, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's intricate, but I also want to get kids away from thinking that they want to write in a Byzantine manner.
Oh,
that
yeah. Big
academic
words.
writing is
Thesaurus writing, yeah. I call it the
Yeah.
kitchen
Yeah.
sink, yeah. Like, furthermore, then an intricate application of the concept, theoretic, not, but that's even clearer. But they just, yeah.
yeah, or like a
Inglese.
sentence has to be 5 lines or 7 lines long. Yeah.
Inglese,
Yeah.
Inglese.
And that, if you're not using big words, if you're not using 4 and 5 syllable words, you're sounding dumb or you're not writing at a high level. It's like, no, don't be
When you
Byzantine,
master
be
something,
clear.
you can do it simply. When you
Yeah.
don't master something, you do it complexly.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
So let me ask you.
Yes,
a question.
please.
So,
Yeah.
What is parody? Explain it.
P-A-R-I-T-Y or parody, like making fun of something. Parody is when you take something that is known and then make fun of it in a way that people can recognize. I can explain that pretty clearly.
Right. So if you say, well, paradox is a concept, that means you don't know it.
Right.
If you don't understand something, you can't explain it. The more you understand something, the more simply you could explain it. And the risk is that people think like, people think it's simple. So I had a friend who I called the Brainiac, right? The Hutch, who was like a gifted researcher.
She's alive and well. Yeah.
I mean, she's emeritus though, but like researcher and everything, and she could explain complex concepts very simply. So people think it's easy. Like, here's how you program this. Here's how you do this. To be able to explain something complex simply is harder, and it shows that the person knows.
Well, one of the reasons you have the job you have is that, you teach about old people, but honestly, you teach methods of research.
I can explain. I'm not the most like fancy methodologist or like whatever, but I have an understanding of how to explain it to people.
Yeah.
But that only came out because when I was in grad school, my advisor, remember Dr. Cooney, she's like,
who is dead.
I was supposed to be a journal assistant with another professor, but then they gave Natalie that.
All right.
And then Dr. Cooney said, you'd be much better off because you like research methods. Why don't you run my labs? So I ran not all, but for her, I did like SPSS labs because I had to do programming. So what you learn to do is take complicated stuff and explain it so that people who never saw it before can do it.
Right.
So when I was in Colorado, we taught online, and I learned through all the instructional designers how to be clear about. Oh, I have to remind my students something's due tonight. But,
Okay.
But
you can remind them here. They're all watching.
No, but what the instructional designers teach you is like, look at the horizontal toolbar, look at the vertical menu. They tell you how to like explain things to people, like, where's this? Here's where it is. They teach you to use very simple language to explain things to people.
I had the idea that, people think, oh, it's dumbing down. Not if you're just explaining something clearly.
No, I think explaining something clearly in concepts that people understand is not dumbing down. It's being relational.
Yeah.
I think that's the art of like teaching. If you can't explain stuff in very complex ways, it's like we had a new faculty member and they're like, oh, I'm having this issue where people aren't talking, blah, blah. I'm like, whenever people don't talk, step back and stop talking yourself and ask them a simple question, right? Like, so we're talking about this concept. Let's say, I don't know, it's ecological something. I'm making up something like it's about I don't know, recycling or something or some kind of, I don't know. And people don't know it. So if they're not talking, maybe they have no idea what it means. So you just stop and say, can someone define it for me? How do you see it? And then once they started yammering, and then when everybody talks, you say, great, I'm glad you talked, but can other people also talk? Like there's ways to do it. But I think high tech and fancy don't erase the need for good teaching.
Oh, yeah.
You know, bells
yeah.
and whistles are great, but you know, you still need people.
And people to clear away this idea that things have to be Byzantinian,
Yeah.
because a lot of things truly are really, really complicated. You know, if you try to work out the problems in the Middle East, if you try to work out the math of
Would you
how
mind
elections are
if
done.
I do my reminder before I forget?
Yeah, we're
Because I
good.
can't
I'll do Friends of the Neighborhood. I can do that on.
I'll bring it in here.
Oh, you can do it here.
Yeah,
Fine.
I just
You know, there are things that cannot be explained, but you can explain parts of them simply, and then connect those simple parts in a logical fashion. So things don't have to be, this maze goes nowhere, this is inexplicable, this is under this is over that. At least I can explain to here, this connects to this connects to that, and it's not circuitous, it's not Byzantine. And that's what I am for in life. I do wish I understood things better. I do wish that I could go through, I even got lost in certain parts of Harry Potter's 5-volume series at certain times. I'm like, there's too many characters, too much, happening. I'm following Harry, I'm following Hermione, I'm following Weasley and Dumbledore.
So is that Byzantine to you?
Well, yeah, when there's more than I can kind of take on. There were times when I would read a Dickens book in my 20s, and Dickens just had so many characters.
I found that way a little bit like with
Yeah.
Crime and Punishment or a lot of the Russians, but then you understand that the system.
Well, Crime and Punishment doesn't have that many characters. That one's I read that again
But
a couple
the
of years
names
ago.
for me had that feeling.
But War and
like,
Peace has that.
yeah.
The ones where they just bring in, and especially someone like Dickens was writing for periodicals, so he'd come up with a new installment or two every week, and he would name a character, and then 30 installments later for another chapter, bring them back or name them wrong. It would be the same character, but he accidentally given another name. He would do this because he wrote it so long ago that he didn't have time to go back to the initial thing.
I know.
So I find that, and I've tried reading Joyce, not
Oh, I love
Ulysses Joyce, and trying to get through it, listening on audio, kind of making my way through, and sometimes enjoying parts of it, and other times like, oh, nah, I ain't never reading Finnegan's Wake, that's for sure. I'm not going to read Gravity's Rainbow. I'm never going to get Pinch On. There's just stuff that will be beyond me, and therefore I'm going to feel negatively about it, while other people think, oh, you're missing genius. Okay, just a little too Byzantine for my taste. Anyway, that was Dave's Big Dictionary for this Saturday, August 31st, 2024, on Dave's Gone By, with me, Dave Lefkowitz. Remember that the archives of this program are available at davesgoneby.com. Also, we put all our archives of the shows and the interviews from the shows at archive.org. We have a channel there. Plus, if you just want the audio of all our episodes, you can go to castbox.fm, where they keep things as downloadable podcasts. And we have a YouTube channel, Dave's Gone By, and a Total Theater channel, Dave's Gone By. Tons of places to find the same content. Your best place to start is either davesgoneby.com or this Facebook page that you're watching right now. Well, we have still, alas, our Colorado Limerick of the Dam to do. But before we get to that, we want to celebrate folks who have been on the show. Today, of course, we have a brand new friend of the Daverhood, that's what we call them, and her name is Annie Korzen, and you're going to want to get her book. It's called The Book of Annie, Humor, Heart, and Chutzpah, from an Accidental Influencer. You saw her on the show today. If you missed her, or you want to share it with somebody else, remember that you can just load up the show on davesgoneby.com. Give us about 24 hours to get the program on our website, and then we'll get that done. But Annie Korzen is now officially a friend of the Daverhood. Rabbi Sal Solomon has been a friend of the Daverhood because he's been with us since our very first episode. We like to keep tabs on all our friends of the Daverhood and let you know what they're doing, these friends of ours. Friends of the Daverhood. Gotta get my glasses on for this. So, What have they been up to since they've been on the program? For example, Neil Berg. If you have not yet, you have just today and tomorrow to catch his musical called The Sabbath Girl that is being performed off-Broadway at 59E59 Theaters over on 59th Street in Manhattan. So go see it. Reviews are good. So it's Neil Berg's The Sabbath Girl off-Broadway. This coming Tuesday, September 3rd, day after Labor Day, Eric Comstock and Barbara Fasano will be at Birdland doing their nightclub cabaret review. On Friday the 6th, Rochelle Ellie is taping 2 stand-up shows at the Free Times Cafe. This is in Toronto, Canada. So this is for our viewers outside our local Maryland area. Want to remind you that Andre DeShields is one of the stars of Cats, the Jellicle Ball. This whole revising, rethinking of Andrew Lloyd Webber and T.S. Eliot's Cats as kind of this campy gay nightclub thing. It's over at the Perlman Center on Fulton Street, off Broadway. I'll bet you they're going to try and move it, or they kept extending it. Maybe they'll extend it again or try and bring it somewhere else. It's Cats, the Jellicle Ball, off Broadway. Gerard Alessandrini's Forbidden Broadway was supposed to be on Broadway over the summer, but it didn't happen. They are bringing it back off Broadway. It's Forbidden Broadway, Merrily We Stole a Song. You know it's Forbidden Broadway. It's Theater 555 off Broadway, and it's running now through mid-September. Running now through a little later in September is Little Shop of Horrors at the Ogunquit Playhouse in Maine. That, of course, features music by Alan Menken. And Little Shop of Horrors, the revival, has been running off-Broadway for a few years now. It's still there at the West Side Theater on 43rd Street in Manhattan. Katie Huffman is directing the musical Empire at New World Stages. That is playing through mid-September. And playing now through mid-October on, you don't even have to leave your desk for this, is a podcast called Flash Force, Middle-Aged Women Superheroes Save Democracy. It's a podcast of 20-minute episodes. There are 6 of them, and they drop once a week from now through mid-October. And some of the stars of this, or guest stars, include Lucy Arnaz, our friend, Jason Gra, our friend, and Karen Ziemba, our friend. All of them part of Flash Force. Listen wherever podcasts are listenable. Also, Aladdin on Broadway. We mentioned Alan Menken. He wrote the music for that. You can see it at the New Amsterdam Theater. Let's see. Katie Sullivan is at the Algonquin on Tuesday evenings. Vince Giordano and the Nighthawks play Birdland, 2 shows on early Monday nights. And, of course, Jim Caruso's Cast Party every Monday night at Birdland. Get your tickets at birdlandjazz.com. Tuesdays through Saturdays, Michael Garin plays piano. He's kind of the cocktail piano guy at a place called the Roxy Hotel in Tribeca in Manhattan. I keep getting the ring light in my glasses there. And then what else? Seth Bissenhirsch does his talent showcase at Don't Tell Mamas, and that is on Tuesday evenings. And then, of course, our great friend, Evan Seplow. He founded a website called StageBuddy.com that tells you about New York nightlife. Check it out. David Sheward, our theater critic friend, writes for TotalTheater.com, CulturalDaily.com, and TheaterLife.com, as well as his own blog, The David Desk. And then you've got Charlie Gross and Leslie Hovan Blake co-host 2 on the Aisle on YouTube. This is where they review Broadway and off-Broadway shows together. And Vicky Quaddy is out there in Chicago doing Late Night Catechism and Are You Smarter Than Your 8th Grade Nun? These, my friends, are the friends of the Daverhood. So it is just a few seconds up before noon Eastern Time here on Dave's Gone By with me, Dave Lefkowitz. I gave you some info about the show. Remember that if you want to contact me, I'm available at davesgoneby@aol. I still have my AOL address. davesgoneby@aol.com. You can also message me right here on this Facebook page or leave messages that everyone can read under every show here in the Daverhood on our Facebook page. We also have a Twitter feed, Radio Dave 2. I do have an Instagram page. It's Dave Lefkowitz. I think that seems, or it's Dave.Lefkowitz. It's one of those. I should probably change it to Dave's Gone By. We don't have a TikTok yet. I'm thinking about it. Now, watching Annie Korzen, I really should. And I think that should tell you just about everything you should know about keeping pace with and knowing this program. And telling your friends about it and sharing it on Facebook. I do get quite a lot of Facebook friend requests. I've got to vet them because I'm still close to that 5,000 limit that a non-professional Facebook site has to cap at. And then also, a lot of times I'm like, well, you seem semi-real. You're going to these restaurants and taking pictures of your meals, and they're looking really beautiful. And you're going to these spas, and you're showing these vistas and swimming pools, and then you're taking pictures in like really tight-fitting hot outfits that show your tits. You might be real. Kind of like to get to know you, but I'm not so sure. So I'm going to vet you and check you out to make sure you're a real person who wants to be a real friend to the Daverhood and part of the locus, the Byzantine circus that is this program. Well, we've done almost everything, but not quite everything, because it's time to get cultural. It's time to get poetic. It's time to...
No, schmutzy my computer screen is. I need the...
Oh, yeah, I do that with my...
We have... No, it's like... Because it's a touch screen.
Oh, yeah.
It has just the oil from the hand. I got to clean that.
But speaking of schmutz, speaking of disgusting, gross
dirty and clean
things...
sign?
I do! Oh, I thank you for reminding me. I do. I have it right here.
You should warn people.
I haven't used it much yet.
What's the town?
So we're going to Ashcroft, Colorado, for our Colorado Limerick of the Damned. This is because we lived in Colorado for all these years, and I took it into my brain to write a poem about as many places
I think Pitkin County is pretty wealthy.
Pitkin, yeah, that is because it's so close to Aspen. But this is about 10 miles from Aspen. It's called Ashcroft, Colorado, and we have
It was found by Culver. Remember, Culver's is the food restaurant.
Oh.
Remember, Culver's was the place you like the shake and the hamburgers.
I'll bet that's why they
named it Culver's.
Yeah. Well, let me play the theme music. We'll tell you something about Ashcroft, and then I will read my limerick.
You're the poetry man.
A limerick is a comic verse of 5 lines, in which lines 1, 2, and 5 will end with words that rhyme. And likewise, verses 3 and 4 also end with words that rhyme. So this is a limerick.
Rocky Mountain,
So my wife is looking it up. She's going to tell us.
This girl has the complete guide to Ashcroft.
Whoa.
It's a ghost
Well,
town.
why don't you tell?
No,
Why don't you
you
read?
want to show the okay. It says everything you need to know. Okay. Favorite spot. It was a ghost town, a 5-year boom of silver in the 1800s.
Mm-hmm.
They found the silver deposits, but then by 1885,
5 years from boom to
it
bust.
said it dwindled down to about 100 residents.
Yeah.
A handful of single men who spent their time hunting, fishing, reading, and drinking. Woo-hoo!
Yeah, I think they did some other stuff too, but we won't go there.
Oh, it looks scary.
Well, no, it's just got some. There are some structures still in Ashcroft that you can go see if you want.
They tell you how to get there. It's dog friendly. No.
No.
How to access it? I guess it's open year round.
Yeah, but you don't want to go in during the winter.
Tire chains family. What makes it so special? Here's a picture.
All right, yeah. Well, here's. It's actually gorgeous. At least in the spring. Look at this. So there's a picture, a modern picture of Ashcroft, this ghost town that had the last living guy there. Here, I'll tell you that.
Oh, the last was he reading, drinking, hunting, and fishing?
He was.
Oh, Lord.
Jack Leahy.
Was
up
he a
until
Quaker? Was he a Quaker?
Why? Why Quaker?
Because the one person alone, right? Why wouldn't you have another person with him?
Because all the other guys died.
Oh, God.
No kidding. No, because 1885 to 1939. Right? So he was there. For years, only stragglers stuck around, living off the land, doing whatever mining was left. The last resident died in 1939, but shortly after that, a couple of Olympic athletes came there.
For the altitude.
Ski resort, right? They wanted to do.
They opened it?
They were Olympic guys like, we're going to turn this into a great
Nice.
resort for
That's
skiing.
a great idea, yeah.
For but then one of them died in World War II before they
that's
could
not
open the
good,
place.
yeah.
And the other ended up leasing the land to the government during World War II for use by the military as training.
Because of the high altitude,
Yeah.
yeah.
Post-war, the Forest Service got most of the land. But then in the 1950s, another World War II veteran, a guy named Stuart Ace,
Oh, that's a
started,
great name.
you know what he started doing there in the winters?
Skiing.
With
Cows? Oh, Alaska.
dog sledding.
Oh, wow, that's
Yeah.
clever.
So they brought TV in there. There was this dog sledder guy, and they made it look like Canada, and that's where they filmed Sergeant Preston of the Yukon.
Whoa.
Back in the
That's
19
illustrious history right there.
Yeah, and because he did that, part of his thing was he got like 5 acres as long as he would steward the land
Is
and
it a
keep it
national
protected.
park now, or
It is. It's
Okay.
on the National Registry of Historic Places.
That's why they say you have to pay to get in, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like a park, yeah.
You can't mess with it, but and they left the structures, but they've also buttressed them and
Yeah, to make sure
restored
they
them.
don't fall.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool, and this preservation that they did of a place. This is kind of also funny. In the early days, that post office in 1880. In 1881, they renamed it Chloride. I guess that's
town or
when
the
they
post
found the
office?
silver chloride.
All right.
They all had good teeth there, I'll tell you. But then they changed it back. And in its heyday, Ashcroft had 2 newspapers, a school, 20 saloons.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
I don't think they were doing a lot of reading or hunting or fishing.
Oh, it's not a dry town. I bet everybody
Yeah, but
came.
if there were only 100 men and 20 saloons, I mean,
Oh.
that's like...
Well, no, that was by the later.
okay.
It was they had 2,000 or
Oh.
1,000 people there for a while. But anyway, that was the history and the continuing history of Ashcroft, Colorado. And now, even worse than the drying up of the silver, comes a poem about Ashcroft, Colorado. Remember that our Colorado limericks of the damned are generally not. They are generally really awful. And this one is, yeah, not very nice. Are you ready? Are you ready for the Colorado limerick of the damned, my dear? Here it goes. Ashcroft, Colorado. I know a drug dealer in Ashcroft who calls her apartment a stash loft. Although she courts death, she uses much meth, which keeps both her gums and her gash soft. Send your complaints to davesgoneby at AOL.com, davesgoneby at AOL.com. And remember, if you want to read all my Colorado limericks, if you want to read my poems, my plays, my songs, the articles I've written for various magazines, go to davelefkowitz.org. davelefkowitz.org. If you want to read my award-winning interview with Maria Bamford that was published in Long Island Woman.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, that was really cool. And we've also got the Kathy Griffin story up there that I hope wins an award, because both Kathy and I deserve it for
I
that.
think it should win something. I don't know what it'll win. but-
Yeah. Well, considering that she lifted up her shirt, I should win the booby prize.
you didn't show that, though.
No, well, it's a magazine. It's a there's
but-
nothing visual.
Did you record the Zoom?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've got and she said, she doesn't care. That was the beautiful thing about the interview. She's like, I don't have 2 fucks left to give. I'll be quoting that line for the rest of my life. And she's like, you want to show the video? You want to say that I'm making fun of my manager? I'm saying terrible things about Donald Trump. I'm doing this. My ex-husband is like, go. I don't care. She's gotten to that point in life because she's had some horrible years, and a bit of which she brought upon herself. Fair enough. But kind of really, really a great interview. I'm more of a fan of her now than I ever was. And I got angry at her when she did that Trump headless thing. So I've forgiven her on that. Anyway, it's about 10 after 12 in the afternoon here, Eastern Time, on this Saturday morning, August 31st, 2024, capping and ending our 958th episode of the program. Look at it. It's been 3 hours, and the sloths are still slothing.
Yeah, but the one is very far down. The other one, at least he flipped. I was worried that he was broken. But yeah, look.
He's good. He's good. They'll go. But it's nice it takes so long to do.
Well, I guess because they're new, they're still sticky, but over time they're like.
So how many more weeks or months or years will we be doing Dave's Gone By? The answer could be infinite. Probably not.
I think until you're dead. You'll be like on your deathbed, you'll be like, get the camera, put me on live.
The show will be 2 minutes long. It'll be like a TikTok video at that point.
No, you'll still be talking. You'll be like, you'll be like 107. You'll be completely like out of your loop. You know, you'll be like,
there goes the.
No, you'll be facing the other way, with the back of your head.
You're watching Dave's. Oh, my scrotum.
No, you'll start sleeping. You know?
Yeah, it's like, welcome on this Saturday. I hope. Maybe I will. Maybe I will be.
I think it gives you the vim and vigor to go on, honey.
Yeah.
You know, like the Titanic song, "My Heart Will Go On," your show will go on.
My show will go on.
That's what they say, right? Don't they say, like, Christina Applegate? When I hurt my foot, I thought of her. She played a whole the play with a broken foot.
She was in Sweet Charity. She broke her foot.
Dancing, right? Oh.
Yeah, they modified her dancing.
Yeah, but still, if you break your foot, you can't stand on it. She's dancing or whatever. I mean, she's still she's standing up on the stage with a broken limb. I mean, that's not so. People do all sorts of. You know, they're very ill or whatever, and then they just perform.
Well, remember we had on the program many years there he goes. We had Ben Vereen on, and Ben Vereen was hit by a car and was almost killed. I mean, he broke every bone in his body. A year later, he was a director, I forget who it was, said, I'm going to put you on Broadway. You're gonna dance again in a year. Yeah. And he was.
Yeah, well, I do think though he's probably began in much better shape than most of us, so he probably healed better because he was in better shape.
That's true.
Good for him. I'm glad he's okay. But I think the theater people do that. Like when we were at O'Neill, a lot of the people all over, they were complaining they felt tired, sick, this, that, and then they all did their production.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's draining the life. It really is.
Life on the boards, honey.
What?
What was your thing with using the word? What was your sentence?
Oh, the Byzantine thing?
Yeah, you didn't make a sentence.
No, the point wasn't to make a sentence. The point was to talk about.
I thought you.
I think I used it. I used it a couple of times.
Like for Harry Potter. Okay.
Yeah, I did. Okay. I did. Okay. Anything else that we have left to discuss before we table things?
No, we made the plant. We talked about our stuff.
Yeah.
You didn't want to talk about save it for next time. The cop in New York. The cop in New York.
Maybe that's more for Rabbi Saul.
Save it for elsewhere. Yeah.
All right. So we got that. Yeah, I think we're actually really good. I do want to tell you that next Saturday we should be back.
Who's your guest?
With a brand new episode, and we'll be welcoming back to the Daverhood Timothy English. He's an author. He's written a couple of books. He's written more books now in like the 15 years since he was first on the show.
You know why your guest thought it wasn't live? Because it was on Zoom. So a lot of people use Zoom to pre-record interviews. You know that.
Right. Yeah, I use Zoom.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. But no, we were. God help us, we were live, ladies and gentlemen. But if you missed any part of this program, or you want to share it or watch it again.
Or you want to see that interview. I mean, a lot of people liked it on your...
Yeah.
I don't have your phone, but a lot of people were liking it, so they might want to... They might have seen it, but they want to re-see it. You know, sometimes you want to see something again that you really like. Yeah.
Or share it with someone you know will like it.
Yeah.
Remember, you can just, as soon as the show's over, you can scroll right down on Facebook and watch it again, and it won't go away. I mean, it'll just keep lower down in the feed. But it'll still be there, plus davesgoneby.com. It takes several hours for me to upload the show, but then I will, and then it's there forever too. So, davesgoneby.com, this Facebook page, Dave's Gone By Live next Saturday, the first Saturday of September of 2024. We'll be there with you 9 till noonish or thereabouts here in the Daverhood. Until then, don't take your Labor Day too laboriously. Thank you again to Annie Korzen. Thank you to my darling, wonderful... I turned to my wife and she starts getting nauseous.
I know.
I look at her. I'm like, hi. I said, Thank you. That makes me feel so good. Anyway, have a great one. Don't forget, Joey and Kobayashi, Monday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And we'll see you next week. And gone by.
He's gone by. He's gone by.
Now, if I can just keep my skin from flaking. Oh, there we go. There we go. And somehow I still get angry letters from the NAACP. I don't understand it. We'll see you next week.